and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. I won't forget the man who died, who gave that right to me, and I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless the USA.
God bless us all. America, freedom, let's do it.
From the lakes of Minnesota
to the hills of Tennessee,
across the plains of Texas, oh, from sea to shining sea.
From Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, oh, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. God bless this country. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless, please bless you.
It's time for a little fun, a few laughs, and a whole lot of truth.
Ted Nugent speaking fluent Democrat.
All right.
Basically translated, that means I will do whatever you say, or if you shove lies up my ass, I will parrot them mindlessly for you.
The John James Show is on Legacy 1160, WSKW.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to Legacy 1160 and your pep rally for freedom. Great to have you here on a Monday, and a Monday preceding Tuesday, Election Day 2020. Wow. Polls open in less than 24 hours, and it is going to be nutso. I did not realize I had waited too long to early vote. So now I'm going to be in line, but that's okay. I figure I've got until I get off the air tomorrow, until I'm back in here with Mike Violett tomorrow night hosting election coverage, and we're going to be streaming all over the place. We're going to be streaming on legacy1160.com. By the way, I want to let you know, as promised, I have finally made good on a promise, because I got so sick of our stream going down. We have changed platforms now, and we're going to see how this goes. I love this one. I absolutely love this one. And this, to start with, first of all, the quality seems to be a lot better. Number one. Number two, it's cheaper. And it's my purchase. So this is a cheaper platform, and it simultaneously will push out to whatever I need. So we have to share. I still share to the various groups that I'm a member of. However, this will push out to all the Facebook pages we want to, and YouTube all simultaneously. So I love the way this platform looks. I mean, the camera, none of the hardware has changed. Only the platform has changed. And so far, so good. I very early. I'm not gonna count the proverbial chickens before they are hatched, but I like it so far. Good morning, Maya. Am I saying that right, Maya? Thank you for being here. I spelled your name wrong. Did I really, Mike? Oh, crap. Oh, I did. Oh, I'll fix that. I will fix that for tomorrow. I can't fix it today, but I will fix it for tomorrow. I could fix it today, but I'm not gonna. He called me a dub. I love that. Isn't that a great song, Casey? That was Lee Greenwood that you heard. Lee Greenwood and servicemen and women from across the USA and around the world. And it was all done virtually. It's just amazing. Okay, so we've got 18 past 9 o'clock. Boy, do we have a lot of stuff to get to today, as you can imagine. A lot of stuff. You are going to learn some things today you have not yet learned. Probably. I'm guessing there's some stuff. I was all over the news this weekend, and I've got some audio, and I've got some stories, and you're going to want to stick around because this is all pertinent stuff, and I hope you share with as many people as you can, regardless of where you're from. I hope you share with as many people as you can because this is all about freedom. This is our last effort. Donald Trump is energetically, patriotically, he's amazing. He is simply amazing. There's nobody like him. Nobody like him. And you've got to be over the target when you are being fired at continuously. And he is. And if Joe Biden and Kamala Harris pull it out tomorrow and are elected, we're in big trouble. We are simply, this is not an election. Well, we hope our candidate wins, but if they don't, we're going to be gracious and we're going to accept it. We're going to have to accept it. I'm not saying we aren't going to be gracious, but what I'm saying is if our candidate is not elected, America is in dire straits. And we'll get to some reasons why coming up. You like my new haircut, by the way? My wife gave it to me. She does such a good job. She cut my ear, though. You know those clippers that... they're Wall, W-A-H-L. I would recommend the Wall clippers. I got them at, believe it or not, I got them at Walmart. Although it's W-A-H-L is the name of the company. Any hair cutter probably knows that. But they're very good, but they're also they bite. And she always does this. She gets around my ears because you got a little hair on your ears. You got to get that. And boom. And I'm like, ow. It's like I've been shot or something. I said that. I said, ow. And I get a little frustrated, a little angry. And she said, oh, you're bleeding. Really? Well, I wouldn't have known had you not told me. That is minor, just minor stuff. She does a great job. Trims my eyebrows so they don't look like Arkansas ditch caterpillars. I trim my own beard. Fairly clean shaven. I'm a piece of work today. I got to take my jacket off and stay a while, I guess. So anyway, it's good to see you here today. Good to have you here. 6219759. I think we're going to have, wait, hold on a second. Let me check my text here and I can tell you. I think, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, good. Nice. She's going to, Savannah Lynn, The Savvy Truth is going to be on later on this morning. And she was at a rodeo yesterday. They were at a Trump rodeo last night. It was huge, over 500 entries. She does rodeo. They didn't get back till 1 this morning. She's sleeping in a little bit. She also went hunting with her dad early yesterday morning, youth weekend. So that's awesome. I'll post one of her pictures. I don't know if I can do this new platform that we've got. While it's really nice, excuse me, it's new. So and there's a lot we can do with it, but I haven't had a chance really to delve into it too much. I've been working on show prep a lot over the weekend. But I will show you her picture right now. I don't know if you can see that. There she is at the Trump rodeo in her complete red, white, and blue outfit. Whoops, disappeared. And holding up a Trump sticker and some Trump swag there. How cool is that? Savannah Lynn. 16-year-old, amazing young woman. So she'll be on with us later this morning. And they're a different time zone. They're in Texas, so my glasses are filthy. So I'm going to clean my glasses, and we're going to get things going here. We'll look back at this day in history, and then we'll be back with the big show, your Pep Rally for Freedom. Stick around. It is the 2nd of November already, and this is the Associated Press.
November 2nd, 1908. President Harry Truman confounds the political pundits in the race for the White House.
Senator Barkley and I will win this election and make these Republicans like it. Don't you forget that.
As the incumbent Democrat narrowly defeats Republican challenger Thomas E. Dewey in an upset. 1963. A coup in Southeast Asia in what's then known as South Vietnam. The country's leader, Ngo Dinh Diem, and his brother Nhu are killed after they are toppled from power. Diem's generals carry out the coup after the United States decides to no longer support him. 1947. Howard Hughes pilots his huge wooden flying boat known as the Spruce Goose on its only voyage. His flight over Long Beach Harbor, California, lasts about a minute and covers a mile. 1959. In Washington, a bombshell rocks the world of television during its early years. Charles Van Doren admits that he cheated as a contestant on NBC's game show 21. He tells House lawmakers that he had been given the show's questions and answers in advance. And 1961. Katie Lang, singer and songwriter, is born in Consort, Alberta, Canada. Today in history, November 2nd, Mike Gracia, The Associated Press.
All right, welcome to the show. Welcome back. I'm John James, and I would like any comments you have this morning on the interface, the sound, the video, how things are looking. And, you know, one of our big problems is we were freezing on the other interface, and the video quality wasn't nearly as good, if I'm not mistaken. I think this video quality is much, much better, and it's much, much cheaper than the other platform, which, thank God, I was paying monthly for and didn't get a year's subscription to. So I think this is going to be good, but time will tell. Of course, 621-9759, 207-441-6969. You can comment on the video, too. I'm going to try to go back and forth between the pages because each page is now going to have, it's going to be unique. My page is no longer the source for the video. The page it appears on, Legacy 1160 and American Women Who Bear Arms, they're both now source pages. So I'll try to go back and forth and see what some of the comments are on these. My page, by the way, is wide open. If you want to come to my page, I'm monitoring there continuously. So if you want to make a comment on my page, I will always be watching out for that. So let's get going here and talk about what's at stake. Let's talk about Twitter hypocrisy first. How bad is it when the only people who seem to get censored on a platform are conservatives? Conservative views get censored, they get blocked. And what do you know what is always the comeback by Twitter after a few days of complaints and railing on them is, oh, we made a mistake. We made a mistake. No, they didn't make a mistake. Their algorithms or their police, their thought police are all in the Clinton, Clinton, the same idea, all in the Biden-Harris camp. And so many conservatives have gotten shut down, taken off, blocked, flagged, whatever you want to call it. The fine folks at Twitter, always on the job. They don't want anybody saying mean things about anybody, unless they're a conservative, of course. Can't say things about Hunter Biden. They censor parody videos, presidential observations. But when it comes to huge Twitter accounts spreading election disinformation intentionally with the purpose of deceit and defeating Donald Trump, that's okay. The undistinguished former druggy basketball player, whose name is Rex Chapman, is always sticking his loud mouth and his low cell count brain into the political fray like he's some sort of a political whiz. Rex, you are a whiz at nothing. Here's what Rex tweeted yesterday. Well, first of all, let me tell you, he retweeted a Lindsey Graham statement. Now, Lindsey Graham is in quite a fight for his seat. We need Lindsey Graham. So here's what Rex Chapman retweeted from Lindsey Graham over the weekend. Now listen to it and think about what your first thoughts would be.
I want every young woman to know there's a place for you in America if you're pro-life. If you embrace your religion and you follow traditional family structure, that you can go anywhere, young lady.
All right. So you would think, wow, Lindsey Graham says that unless you're pro-life, have a religion, morals, you can't go anywhere. And that's exactly what Rex Chapman put out there. His caption with the retweet was, Lindsey Graham tells young women that there's a place for you in America if you are pro-life, if you embrace religion, and you follow traditional family structure. Obviously, that was posted out of context willfully, or Rex Chapman really is the moron he plays on Twitter. I don't know which. I could guess, but I won't. Here's a reply from Blake News. And now this puts it in perspective. See, he gave you that snippet, and you'd think, my word, I guess Lindsey Graham's kind of closed-minded. You know, I would have thought that if that's all I was given, if that's all I was spoon-fed. But I happen to know what the context was. And now you will too. Blake News retweeted Rex Chapman's tweet and said, people are willfully misinterpreting this comment. And I've seen this retweeted all over the place and posted on Facebook as fact. Well, listen to what a goody two-shoes Lindsey Graham is. He thinks unless you're a Christian woman and you're pro-life, you're anti-baby killing, you can't be a successful woman. Here is the interpretation you need to go with it. Now, the left doesn't want this. They don't want it. They want to think the worst of Lindsey Graham and anybody on the right. But what he was doing, according to Blake News, and from what I saw, he is pushing back on the criticism of Amy Coney Barrett. and is seeking to reassure women who share her worldview that there is a place for them in society. Because the left hates Amy Coney Barrett, because she is moral, because she does have religion, because she doesn't believe in killing babies. So women who think like Amy Coney Barrett can be a success. That's all Lindsey Graham is saying. He isn't saying anything about anybody else. He's just reassuring women who think like Amy Coney Barrett can be a success. But Rex Chapman didn't want to put that out there. No, he wanted you to think that you could not be a success unless you were pro-life, shared traditional family values, and were moral. Did Twitter take it down last we checked? No. There is your hypocrisy in social media. There is the danger of censorship. I got to tell you something right now. If Donald Trump pulls this out with everything working against him for 4 years, he will have earned a place, a very high place in American history. And so will his voters. Because we know the truth. We are not Kool-Aid drinkers. We don't paint with a broad brush the way the left does. We always get you're painting with a broad. Who paints with a broad brush? Conservatives suck. Donald Trump's a Nazi. Who's painting with a broad brush? Right? Everything they accuse us of, they actually are. It's completely opposite land for them. Everything they accuse us of, they are. Everything they accuse Trump of, they accuse Trump of, they are. Who are the fascists? The left. Look the word up. Look the word up. Antifa, anti-fascist. They are what they say we are. They say they're anti-fascist. Well, they're against themselves then. That's pretty funny when you think about it in the true context of what it means. We're just getting started. Boy, do we have a lot of stuff to get to today. I love it. I'm all pumped up. I'm wound up, ready to go. By the way, I as I said earlier, this is a brand new platform. I would love to have your comments regarding the video quality. I personally think the video quality is much, much better, but I want to hear from people actually viewing the thing. So if you would leave a comment about that, that would be great. And I'll check the comments anyway, so we can get any questions or comments you have. Savannah Lynn, coming up a little later on this morning, The Savvy Truth. We're going to have her on with us, talking about tomorrow's election. And her view, she's 16 years old. She is the most amazing 16-year-old you ever heard. I guarantee it. She is the most savvy. That's a perfect name. Savannah, savvy. She is the most savvy 16-year-old, the most well-grounded 16-year-old, smarter than anybody trying to make an argument on the left, smarter than most of us on the right when it comes to politics and what's at stake. And what she believes in, she does not back down for anybody or anything, in spite of the fact that she gets death threats and is constantly barraged with hate. This young woman from Texas, it's sickening. So we'll talk to her about that and how she carries on, how she does carry on. 9:36 right now. Back with more. I'm John James.
WSKW, AM 1160.
You can say these three things about me, or the coronavirus. You may have seen me before and not know it. You might know my name, but not recognize what I look like. I might be the reason you wear a mask. I'm Kevin Lully, and I'm the Deputy Chief with the Augusta Police Department. As Mainers, we have worked hard to fight COVID-19, and we're not done yet. With the upcoming elections, learn all the safe ways to vote at augustamaine.gov. This public service announcement is from the City of Augusta and every person you know who doesn't want to get COVID-19.
Augusta Mayor Dave Rollins. We have a tradition of bipartisan state senators working to improve healthcare. Matt Pouliot, he's putting our healthcare at risk. Pouliot led the campaign opposing stronger vaccination laws. That's why I'm voting for Kaylee Hess. Kaylee is a public health professional. She advocates for children and helps people get health insurance. If healthcare is important to you, vote Kaylee Hess for state senate.
Paid for by the Maine Democratic Party, 320 Water Street, 3rd floor, Augusta, Maine. The top funder of the Maine Democratic Party is the Senate Democratic Campaign Committee, not paid for or authorized by any candidate.
In this election, the health and financial security of voters over 50 are on the line. That's why AARP Maine is fighting for your voice to be heard. From preventing cuts to Social Security, to protecting Medicare, to lowering prescription drug prices, you deserve to cast your vote on the issues that matter to you. And AARP Maine is here to help. If you haven't voted yet, now is the time to learn about your voting options and cast your ballot. We're working to make sure you can vote safely whether you choose to vote from home or in person. Your voice matters. Make sure it's heard. Go to aarp.org/Maine votes to learn about your voting options and how to vote safely this election. Visit aarp.org/Maine votes today. Paid for by AARP.
Take it to Moody's. Take it to Moody's Collision Center.
If your car is a wreck and you don't know where to go,
take it to Moody's.
You wanna get on with your life, get on with the show,
take it to Moody's.
Good people you can trust and it won't be a fuss.
Take it to Moody's Collision Centers.
MOODY. Your kid was talking on the cell phone, drove right through your own home, sitting in the parking lot. Maybe you get hit a lot, driving through the green light. Suddenly your side swipe, put it in reverse, but it turned out that it was first.
Take it to Moody's. Take it to Moody's Collision Centers.
It's been a long campaign, but after all the ads, after all the money spent, it really comes down to who can we really trust to fight for Maine and to do the right thing.
The choice comes down to this. With Sarah Gideon playing politics, trying to raise gas taxes, even the illegal campaign contributions, it's all bad. But the sex predator? The teacher sex predator in the legislature who Sarah Gideon protected after the school put him on leave, after the press investigated. I'm sorry, but that's just wrong. We can't trust Sarah Gideon. She's just too risky a choice. We know Susan Collins, and we can count on Susan Collins to do right by Maine.
Let's keep Susan Collins working hard for Maine in the U.S. Senate. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
I'm Sarah Gideon, running for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message. Paid for by Sarah Gideon for Maine.
Okay, we're back. With Election Day fast approaching, big news today in the race for Senate. For more on that, we go to Kate Piper in the newsroom.
That's right. Investigative reporters at ProPublica writing that newly uncovered emails reveal in 2017, Senator Susan Collins protected a controversial tax break for Wall Street that has now resulted in billionaire investors giving a fortune to her campaign. The report details that Susan Collins was discussing legislation to crack down on the industry, but suddenly had a change of heart. And here's the part that could get the attention of the Ethics Committee. The report explains how two hedge fund CEOs, each of whom saved tens of millions from Collins' actions, have now funneled $3.5 million to try and re-elect her. It remains to be seen so close to the election if this will have an impact, but it looks like this is a story that will continue to unfold.
Thanks, Kate. Back in a minute after a word from our sponsors.
I'm Sarah Gideon, running for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message. Paid for by Sarah Gideon for Maine.
$100 million. That's how much Sarah Gideon and her dark money allies are spending on messages such as, money has changed Susan Collins. They're spending millions telling us that Democrats sat here, Republicans there, until Sarah Gideon sent them all home to sit wherever. This is Bill Green. During this pandemic, Susan worked tirelessly to solve one of the greatest challenges of our lifetimes, writing the PPP, which saved Maine jobs. Sarah made promises but did nothing, and she didn't go to work again this week. $100 million could have done a lot of good for the state of Maine, but it didn't. This is Bill Green asking you, why was a fortune dumped into Maine supporting a virtual unknown who'll Senate in seniority? It's a power grab, pure and simple. They want her vote. For them, this isn't even about Maine, but for us, it is. So join me in voting for Susan Collins on November 3rd.
I'm Susan Collins, candidate for Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Collins for Senator.
I'm CBS 13 meteorologist Lexi O'Connor. Becoming mostly sunny for today with some light snow showers continuing in the mountains. It will be windy and cold with temperatures just in the 30s through this afternoon with gusts up to 40 to 50 miles per hour. Light snow showers overnight tonight into tomorrow morning and becoming partly sunny but cold, highs just in the upper 30s to near 40 degrees tomorrow. Mostly sunny mid-40s for Wednesday.
Campaigning is done. Tomorrow, you can take your lawn signs down. Tomorrow,
God,
it's all done.
Finally, huh?
No more rally crowds. Tomorrow, no more Facebook fights after tomorrow.
Oh, yeah?
Let's be done.
I wish.
No more stupid, insane campaign commercials. And no matter who wins, it ends Tuesday.
Maybe not.
Oh. I hope we find out tomorrow. 'Cause I can't take more after tomorrow. All the hate. Tomorrow, it's over. Tomorrow, thank God it's election day. Tomorrow, it's over. Tomorrow, thank God it's election day.
Let's keep America great. Come on now. Here's Camille and Haley, WSKW.
Keep America great. Keep America great. Gotta stick to our guns. Keep the freedom we won. Keep America great. There will never be another USA. Freedom won't come back if we give it away. It's time to vote. It's time to pray. Let's join as one. Let me hear you say, vote Trump. 2020, go Trump. 2020, vote Trump. 2020, vote Trump. Keep America first. Keep America strong. We are all in the fight for our God-given rights. Keep America one. 1, 2, 3, 4. There will never be another USA. Freedom won't come back if we give it away. It's time to vote. It's time to pray. If you love your flag, let me see it wave. Vote Trump. 2020. Vote Trump. 2020. Vote Trump. 2020. Vote Trump. 4 more years. Come on, everybody. 4 more years. Come on, everybody. 4 more years. Come on, everybody. 4 more years. There will never be another USA. Freedom won't come back if we give it away. It's time to vote. It's time to pray. Let's join as one. Let me hear you say, vote Trump. 2020. Go Trump. 2020. Vote Trump. 2020. Vote Trump. Keep America great. Keep America great.
Your pep rally for freedom is back. Powered by the Gun Shop in Augusta on Coney Circle. Now, here's John James.
Yeah, welcome back. Happy birthday, Ann. Happy birthday to Ann. Happy birthday to you. Freedom, baby. Telling you right now, one of our listeners there on Facebook. I'm glad we know everybody on Facebook right now. Wish Ann a happy birthday. You're on my page. That's where she's checking it out from. 621-975-9207-441-6969, the text line. We're on Facebook. And, oh, my gosh, we've got to get the feed up on the website, too, because now we have that ability. And, shush. We're on a new platform this morning, which is good, but there's a learning curve. So this is what I've got to do right now. I've just got to share this really quickly over to now. I'll wait till the next break. So it will be available. We are on YouTube this morning. I'm pretty sure we are. Let me check the live. Yeah, look at that. This is amazing. I love this platform so far. It's less than an hour old right now in its trial, but so far so good. You can also comment on the Facebook feeds on either Legacy 1160 on my page or on American Women Who Bear Arms. I am monitoring all three of those pages for comments. If you want to leave a comment, that would be fine too. Still to come up, we've got a lot of the Trump rallies to talk about. Some of the Biden rallies. Obama is out in force now. Obama's out working with Joe Biden. Did you hear Joe Biden? Did you hear he was introduced? They did like some kind of an elbow bump. Cool. So Joe Biden comes out in his ball cap because he's got to be cool like Donald Trump's cool. Donald Trump has been wearing the MAGA hat, and on Saturday, Joe Biden comes out in this black cap, elbow bumping Barack Obama, who introduced him, because Obama's so hip now. And he first thing he says, or maybe it was the last thing. I don't know. I lost track. I was listening. I was trying to hear some horns or applause during this one speech where Obama was, and I could hear nary a thing. I heard a horn or maybe once in a while, woohoo! Probably somebody getting goosed on the other side of the fence. Probably a Trump supporter, actually. And how disingenuous is it that all over Facebook this weekend, there are pictures of the Biden-Harris bus in Texas going down the highway, surrounded by these people waving Trump flags. And I thought it was a rather nice little escort they were giving the Biden campaign into Texas. I didn't think much of it. And I guess that's why they canceled their campaign stops. At first they said, well, we're canceling the campaign stops because, it was Kamala Harris in the bus, I guess. And Joe Biden had just been here, and we didn't want to overshadow Joe Biden. Or no, I guess it was Kamala Harris had been there, and they didn't want to overshadow her visit because, of course, she is the one that's going to be president if the ticket wins. So all over Facebook this weekend, any conservative who isn't offended by this, who doesn't think this is horrible, you are terrible. And this all over social media because of the Trump cars with the bus going into Texas. And I'm thinking, where was that? And they're outraged. There was no violence. There was no throwing anything. There was nothing. I mean, it was just a bunch of Trump supporters. Now, I wouldn't have done that. Personally, I wouldn't have done that. I would have said, why bother? Why do that? Just let them do their thing. But, these people have free will and the First Amendment. So they're doing it. They're following the bus, and they're ahead of the bus, waving the Trump flags. And all of these leftists are all over social media. I can't believe this. This is terrible. Wait a minute now. How far back, not far, do we have to go to see all of the protests outside of Trump rallies where bottles of urine and projectiles were thrown at police on horses? Where was your outrage when these things actually were violent and not just kind of funny? Where was the outrage then? They are so far gone. They are literally out there. They're like, woohoo! You want to talk about a space shot? Look at your progressive left. They are so far in space that they have no clue what the real world thinks of their idiocy, of their hypocrisy, of their rage, because they have to be rage-filled. It's part of their charm. Their rage is their charm. It won't be so charming when Trump wins tomorrow or whenever we find out and all hell breaks loose, because Biden supporters, not Trump supporters if Biden wins, but Biden supporters if Trump wins, are going to try to destroy things. They promised it. They promised. What was the word? What is the word that's in the lexicon now for these types of people? The resistance. The resistance will come out. Well, let me tell you, Mr. and Miss Chicken Missy. You want resistance, you go ahead. You try to destroy America because you don't agree with the rightfully elected leaders' politics. You go ahead and you try it. Now, from what I can see, not many people on the far left progressive side believes in the Second Amendment. So there's that. And that's all I'm going to say right there. Good luck. Good luck with your resistance. Business is already boarding up. Bruce Poliquin this morning talking about the businesses in Philadelphia where his son's going to school already boarded up. The only thing not boarded up right now is the door so people can go in and out. But everything else is boarded up because the resistance may come in. Now it remains to be seen what would happen if Biden won. It remains to be seen. I'm not going to be so foolish as to make any predictions because I know there is stupidity on both sides. Just more of it seems to be on the left. But it does exist on both sides. I'm not going to deny that. 9:53 on Legacy 1160 WSKW. So, guess what Biden's talking about now? Guess what he's talking about now? It's Joe Biden. I'll give you I'll give you more of a clue. He's talking yesterday. Yesterday, he's talking again. He has the ignorance, I guess, the lack of foresight, the lack of understanding Americans, real Americans. Maybe he understands his base, which more and more is not real Americans. It's lefty progressives who want to fundamentally change America. That's why they vote for Joe Biden. But one of the things he wants to ban is what? Anybody? Anybody. You know. We'll talk about that next. We'll talk about his tweet. His tweet yesterday. Scary. It is very scary, this guy. We cannot let him have power. He wouldn't have power. Kamala Harris, Bernie Sanders, Beto O'Rourke, AOC, Ilhan Omar, the leftist power grabbers are the ones, gun grabbers, freedom grabbers, First Amendment haters, open border people, free education for all, free Medicare for all people. They're the ones that would be running the country in the event of a Biden victory, which cannot happen. See? You understand? And this is, I'm not talking just for conservatives here. I am talking for those who don't understand. I am trying to school the babies among us, the left, the progressive left, babies. They are young, they are small, they are ignorant. They don't understand. They don't understand the ramifications because they're too mentally immature to grasp the concept of socialism and communism and a world without rights, a world without freedom, a world where the nanny state takes care of you or promises. That's the caveat right there. Promises to take care of you. And they will try to initially. It'll seem all good and rosy and beautiful initially until it isn't, which won't take a hell of a long time. So we're here to school the people. And I don't mean to offend. I know that's what I'm saying is very offensive to people on the left. But please understand, even you are not going to like what you are wishing for when you are wishing against Trump. You are wishing against a guy because you don't like the way he speaks, you don't like the way he acts, you don't like the way he talks, you don't like the things he does because he's cruel, because you navigate through your political life with what?
Feeling.
Oh, that's what you bring to the table.
Nothing more than feeling.
That's what it is. It's all feelings all the time. Put your feelings aside. Think with your brain. This is crisis time. If you do not, we've got a lot more coming up after 10. Please stick around. Tell your friends, share, and we'll be right back. I'm John James.
Legacy 1160, WSKW.
Augusta Mayor Dave Rollins.
We have a tradition of bipartisan state senators working to improve healthcare. Matt Pouliot, he's putting our healthcare at risk. Pouliot led the campaign opposing stronger vaccination laws. That's why I'm voting for Kaylee Hess. Kaylee is a public health professional. She advocates for children and helps people get health insurance. If healthcare is important to you, vote Kaylee Hess for state senate.
Paid for by the Maine Democratic Party, 320 Water Street, 3rd floor, Augusta, Maine. The top funder of the Maine Democratic Party is the Senate Democratic Campaign Committee, not paid for or authorized by any candidate.
In 2013, we opened the Portland Hunt and Alpine Club.
We're a small bar and restaurant. We have a dozen employees.
When the pandemic forced us to close, we went from being open 7 days a week to literally one day making nothing and dealing with months of having zero revenue for our business at all. We needed a PPP small business loan to keep our employees and just to keep our business.
We feel the responsibility of a dozen employees' livelihoods, their food, their shelter, their families. But Susan Collins wrote a loophole to let corporate chains take the small business loan, and Mitch McConnell included it in the law.
Big corporate chains scarfed up the money before most small businesses like ours had a chance. We feel totally abandoned by her.
They were supposed to be looking out for us.
Susan Collins and Mitch McConnell were just looking out for their big corporate donors and not Mainers.
Change Now is responsible for the content of this ad, paid for by Change Now. Make changenow.org, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
$100 million. That's how much Sarah Gideon and her dark money allies are spending on messages such as, money has changed Susan Collins. They're spending millions telling us that Democrats sat here, Republicans there, until Sarah Gideon sent them all home to sit wherever. This is Bill Green. During this pandemic, Susan worked tirelessly to solve one of the greatest challenges of our lifetimes, writing the PPP, which saved Maine jobs. Sarah made promises but did nothing, and she didn't go to work again this week. $100 million could have done a lot of good for the state of Maine, didn't. This is Bill Green asking you, why was a fortune dumped into Maine supporting a virtual unknown who will be at the bottom of the Senate in seniority? It's a power grab, pure and simple. They want her vote. For them, this isn't even about Maine, but for us, it is. So join me in voting for Susan Collins on November 3rd.
I'm Susan Collins, candidate for Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Collins for Senator.
Hi, this is Sarah Gideon, and in the last few weeks, you've heard Susan Collins attack how we in the Maine legislature have responded to coronavirus. Let me be very clear. In Maine, we did our job, and I'm happy to compare our record with what Susan Collins has been a part of in Washington. In Maine, I helped bring Democrats and Republicans together to expand unemployment insurance, get schools the resources they need, and increase funding for testing. And I'm proud we have the lowest positivity rate in America. But in Washington, that's not what we've seen. Republicans and Democrats have failed to work together. And even as families, businesses, and first responders are desperate for help, Susan Collins has stood with Mitch McConnell, refusing to give Mainers the support they need. In Maine, we've done our job. In Washington, they've failed. In the Senate, I'll always put Maine first. That's why I approve this message. Paid for by Sarah Gideon for Maine.
I'm a fisherman, and I am Sam. The Sportsman's Alliance of Maine is a champion of our rights to fully enjoy Maine as we like. Support the preservation of our proud outdoor heritage by becoming a member at sportsmansallianceofmaine.org today.
From the Home Auto Group Studios, Farmington Ford and Franklin Chrysler in Farmington. This is WSKW, Skowhegan, Augusta, Waterville, Legacy 1160.
ABC News, I'm Faith Abube.
President Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden making their final pitches to the American people in the hours leading up to Election Day. Of course, nearly 100 million Americans have already cast their ballots. The president keeps insisting we should know the final outcome of the election tomorrow night. Most experts say that might not be possible. ABC Chief White House Correspondent Jonathan Karl.
Florida, Georgia, Texas, North Carolina, those are all states with massive early voting, a lot of vote by mail, and those are also states that start counting as the votes come in. So they're already tabulating the votes. They're going to have results very quickly, and the first may well it could buy
a full-on bling 9 rallies in 6 states over the weekend, and planning 5 more for today. An hours-long siege of Kabul University in Afghanistan is over, with at least 21 people dead. This is ABC News. The 28th named storm of the year, now Hurricane Ida, heading for a likely landfall in Nicaragua tomorrow morning. The man who leaked documents about surveillance programs in America now trying to get citizenship in Russia.
Edward Snowden has said he's applying for a Russian passport for the sake of his unborn son. The whistleblower and his American wife, Lindsay Mills, revealed last week she is pregnant. Snowden wrote on Twitter they won't get their son. He said they will remain Americans, and he hopes still to return to Moscow since 2013, when he was given political asylum after he leaked documents revealing vast surveillance by the NSA. Patrick Reevell, ABC News, Moscow.
Due in court for sentencing today in Louisiana, a man who pleaded guilty to burning down 3 black churches last year. Holden Matthews is the son of a sheriff's deputy and faces up to 70 years behind bars. Faith Abube, ABC News.
Order! Continue, Ms. Garner.
With the Capital One Venture Card, you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase every day.
Objection! My credit card doesn't earn double miles on every purchase.
I object to your objection. With the Capital One Venture Card, you earn unlimited double miles on every purchase.
Order!
And right now, earn 100,000 bonus miles when you spend $20,000 in your first year.
I'll allow it.
No further questions, Your Honor. Well, just one. What's in your wallet?
Limited time offer. Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
When it comes to flooring options for the pro, no one covers floors better than the Home Depot. With over 300,000 flooring supplies online and in-store, plus in-demand styles, from modern mosaics to waterproof vinyl and laminates, we buy more than anyone else, so you'll save more than anywhere else, with everyday low prices and even bigger savings when you purchase by the pallet. The pro's best option when it comes to flooring. The Home Depot. How doers get more done. U.S. only.
And now, live from the Legacy 1160 WSKW studios in Maine's capital, here's the man that commands attention, not because he's important or smart, but because he believes in the Second Amendment and packs 24/7. Here's the always well-armed John James.
Welcome back. Welcome back to our little abode here at Legacy 1160 WSKW. I'm John James, your friendly host. You got somebody on line 2 or both lines? Both lines are busy. Hi, you're on with John. Who am I talking with? Oops, wrong button. Hello. Hello, hello. Are you there? Are you there? Have I lost you? I didn't get to you quick enough, did I? Apparently not. Hello, hello. Line 1 and line 2 hung up. Oh, well. Take care of that little problem right now. Okay, I'll try to watch the phone lines. I will. I promise I will. 621-9759, and it auto answers. And if I don't get it right away, just text me or something. Let me know you're there. Okay. So what is it Joe is talking about banning? Well, I think you can guess. I think you can guess. Okay, we've only got... Oh, we're on a 55-inch screen. Beautiful. How's it look, Maxwell? I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Yeah, first day with the new platform, and I spelled Mike Violett's name wrong. There should be an E at the end of his name on the post. There will be going forward. I was in sort of a hurry here when I got things going this morning. 441-6969 is the text line, 207-441-6969. Those are the numbers. So, Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe, now doubling down on his promise to make gun control a top priority, along with fellow gun haters Kamala Harris and gun czar, if Biden is elected, Robert Francis Beto O'Rourke. Hell yeah, we'll take your AR-15s and your AK-47s. He said, yes, he said that. He said, take. As in, you have no freedom in the issue. We felt our freedom slipping away here in Maine, for those not listening in Maine. Comrade Mills has extended her emergency order through December. So she's got 2 months now before she extends it through the 1st of 2021, which will happen. She might as well have done it. She might as well have extended it through to next summer. And then she could have waited until March to extend it through next fall. And she wouldn't have to make the decree so often. But gun haters, Joe Biden, Harris, O'Rourke, and others, do want to take your guns. And this, in my personal point of view, if it matters, and I'm sure it doesn't, is that was really a dumb thing for him to say, given the climate we're in right now. Because now, more than probably any time in our sordid past, more liberals, and I am not talking about progressive leftists, I'm talking about your moderate liberals, your garden variety Democrats. They do still exist. They are out there. Many of them are voting for Trump. Many more will, thanks to tweets like Joe made yesterday, because many, many millions more people are buying guns of all political persuasions, except maybe the progressive left. Any guns they have, you're talking Antifa, Black Lives Matter, MS-13, they steal their guns. They don't get their guns legally anyway. And those are the ones usually that do most of the damage. And by the way, AK-47s are never used in mass shootings. AR-15s are very, very rare in mass shootings. In fact, long guns are very seldom used in any mass shootings. So you see, this is just the first step. You've got to understand it. Again, I have to school the people who don't get it, that this is baby steps for the left. They take your AK-47s, they take your AR-15s, they take your AR-10s, they take anything they consider to be an assault weapon because of the furniture it has on it, meaning the magazines, the grips, the pistol grips, the barrel shrouds, the Picatinny rails. They see this stuff and, oh, that's evil. It's an evil gun. We've got to ban those. And they're going to ban those. And they will if they get power. Kamala Harris said as president she would sign an executive order right away, making these guns illegal. And then they're going to find out, well, that really didn't help anything, did it? That didn't stop anything. That really didn't do a damn thing. So it's got to be the semi-automatic weapons. They are now the assault guns, the pistols are the assault guns, which everything, just about everything, over 90% of the guns in America are semi-automatics. That is baby step number 2. That's actually more than a baby step. That's a big second step to complete and total removal of guns. And look what happened in Canada. Did you see the killing, the stabbing by sword? Was it a sword or yeah, I think it was sword. A killing spree by sword. Oh, they don't, but they don't have the evil ARs. They were banned in Canada. Well, swords weren't. Well, swords will be banned. Swords are going to be banned now, and then they're going to be using hammers, claw hammers. Oh my God, we've got to ban those. We'll have to have licenses so carpenters can still carry the evil assault hammer around with them. These people are out of their minds. Here's Joe's tweet yesterday. I'll try to do it. I'll try to read this in my best Joe Biden voice. You like that, Mike? It's long past time we take action to end the scourge of gun violence in America. As president, I'll ban assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, implement universal background checks, and enact other common sense oh, there you go. Common sense reforms to end our gun violence epidemic. Oh, okay. I've got to tell you something, buddy. There are moderate Democrats. There are objective people out there who totally disagree with you. I will give you one, Jared Golden. Now, he is running against Dale Crafts for the seat in our legislature in Washington tomorrow. It's Dale Crafts versus Jared Golden. But let me tell you something right now. I feel when it comes to gun rights, I feel equally as safe with Jared Golden as I do with Dale Crafts. And if you heard Jared Golden on this show the other day, and I'm good at reading people, I am, Jared Golden was 100% sincere with me on Friday when he said he is against banning so-called assault weapons. He is against banning high-capacity magazines. He is against the red flag laws. He is against gun control of any kind, including but not limited to universal background checks. Joe, and he is not alone in the Democratic Party, I guarantee. You are thinking like a fool, Joe Biden, Beto O'Rourke, Kamala Harris, Pocahontas, Michael Bloomberg, and all the AOC. I could go on and on all day with a list of the progressive Dems that hate guns and want to ban them at any cost. I'm sorry, the Second Amendment and our Creator does not allow for that kind of edict. It does not allow. We have the God-given, inalienable right to keep and bear arms, and you have no business in our gun safes telling us which guns we can and cannot own, period. Joe? Now, as you can imagine, this little tweet by Crazy Joe didn't sit well with those of us who believe in the Constitution and the Second Amendment. Colorado congressional candidate Lauren Boebert tweeted, "And with this, you may as well begin writing your concession speech." God bless Lauren Boebert. Cam Edwards. Cam Edwards, anybody who is familiar with the NRA, formerly NRA TV, knows who Cam Edwards is. Very well-known host, very well-known part of the NRA in years past. Tweeted, "This absurdly bad idea would criminalize the possession of commonly owned arms while doing nothing. Zero to stop actual violent crime." He continued, "It's the gun control equivalent of telling officers to shoot for the legs. Both dangerous and dumb." Joe Biden is dangerous and dumb. I came up with this. I thought this was good. I posted this on my page this morning. A vote for Joe Biden is a vote for Kamala and her band of merry Marxists, and should be avoided at all costs if you love freedom and America. I made that up. That should go viral, I tell you. So that's what Joe's plan is right there. That's what his plan is. And he's not fit. He's not fit anyway. He just says things that he knows the far left wants him to say because he is an empty vessel. Mr. Cool in his sunglasses and his ball cap and his elbow bumping Barack Obama. And he said this yesterday. I was going to tell you this in case you missed it. He said, in 8 years, there was not even not one hint of any scandal during the Obama administration. Where was he for 8 years? Not part of the administration, apparently, or he has a very short memory. How many scandals? Oh, let's count them. I mean, one of the most obvious ones was Benghazi. Nothing to see here. More. In fact, they were listing them off last night on either Tucker or Sean Hannity. They actually had Tucker Carlson and Sean Hannity. Maybe Laura Ingraham, too. I don't know. I didn't stay up that late, but both of them had special Sunday shows on last night. And they highlighted all of the scandals that went on during the Obama administration. And there were plenty of them. Oh, but no, nothing to see here. You call them scandals, we call them successes. Benghazi, they're dead. Americans were killed, but at this point, what difference does it make? Hillary Clinton. Now check this out. Joe Biden traveled from Delaware all the way to Philadelphia because he grew up in Scranton. He married a Philly girl. Wow. Well, then he should be president. Damn it, Pennsylvania, Joe Biden is your guy. He grew up in Scranton and he married a Philly girl. He made a speech trying to make himself seem like a local in Philadelphia. In doing so, he bragged about wearing a Philadelphia Eagles jacket. Ooh. Yeah, go ahead, play the clip.
I was very happy to have the moniker of being known as Pennsylvania's third senator. I know Philadelphia well. I married a Philly girl, by the way.
Oh.
And by the way, I got my Eagles jacket on.
Wow, boy, those people are horny. Did you hear all those horns? Wow, there must have been a half a dozen of them. Oh, that's impressive, you and your Philadelphia Eagles jacket, Joe. Oh, ho, ho, but there was only one problem. Only one problem with that statement. He was actually wearing a Delaware Blue Hens jacket. Yeah, Joe. In his defense, both are winged animals. right? Now, had he been wearing a hat, had this been a hat he referred to, I might be able to understand the mistake. People will say something about my hat, and I will think, what hat do I have on? And I'll have to look at it. But if I'm going to bring attention to my hat, certainly I'm going to look at it. Now, if I'm going to bring attention to my Philadelphia Eagles jacket, if you're Joe, all you have to do is look down because the logo's on the front. The logo is on the left lapel pocket of the, if that's what you call it, of the jacket. Delaware Blue Hens. Proudly wearing his Philadelphia. Married a Philly girl. You sure she's from Philadelphia, Joe? I don't know where she's from. If you say so, I guess. If you, and you know, knowing Biden supporters, it's like, oh, if he says it says Blue Hens, but if he says it's an Eagles jacket, it's an Eagles jacket. Right? There's room for error. There is room for error. Error is always allowed. Unless you make an error and you're a conservative, then you get called out. Oh, blinky light. Okay, we got 1, 2, 3. Okay. See what we got here. Hi, you're on with John. Who am I talking with? Hello.
Well, if you're talking to me, it's talking to Mikal.
Hey, Mikal, how are you?
Oh, irritated.
Uh-oh, are you irritated this morning? What's wrong, my friend? What's irritating you? We'll see if
I really appreciate all the information you're giving about the national stuff. But don't forget, I don't know, I missed your first hour, so it's the local stuff that really is just.
Yeah, we do have some big local stuff. Yeah, we've got to reelect Susan Collins. Susan Collins was on with Mike Violett earlier this morning. Sarah Gideon is a mook, and we are back in, I don't know, somewhere around, I don't know when the edicts changed from Czar Mills, but we are now back to 50 people inside from 100, and we are now, by the way, bars who have now stocked up getting ready for today opening day for the bars and tasting rooms. Woohoo! Getting all the stuff together, getting all the new beer orders, the perishable beer orders ready to go, the kegs, and oh, now we're going to put it off indefinitely.
Mm-hmm. But yet, it's okay for no restrictions on Walmart.
Well,
and Home Depot.
Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Now, there's her edict also includes like what was it, like 5 people per 1,000 square feet? I think was that it. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, for small business.
Okay, so that doesn't Walmart. It doesn't matter for Walmart, right?
No.
Okay, so anybody can go into Walmart anytime, but I think probably Hannaford is probably going to go back to their lining you up at the door. They had stopped doing that in China where I live, and they had gone to allowing you to just walk in and do your shopping, but they still have you still go up and down the aisles with the arrows, which I still don't understand and is still stupid. And I'm sorry, I'm going to go the wrong way if I need something a quarter of the way up the aisle and it's only one item. I'm going to go again. I'm going to walk against traffic. I'm sorry. I'm not going to adhere to that edict. Kick me out of the store if you want to for that, but I'm not going to adhere to that.
You're going to have a Biden moment?
I may. That's what I'll tell him.
Well, I, as you know, I'm in an undisclosed location up here in Moscow, so I cannot name the store. But thankfully, I have been spared all this stupid.
So you don't.
That was a long pause for a reason.
Okay.
I had to.
Yeah. I absolutely understand that.
Nobody wears a mask, and there are no plastic partitions.
Yeah.
And it's a regional franchise grocery store, which is well stocked.
Uh-huh.
And I see, when I go down there once a week, I see the same people. Nobody has died.
No, nobody's died. Has anybody got COVID? I've got to tell you, Mikkel, All due respect, and I completely respect everything you're saying, but I will, if I think it's going to be crowded or it's going to make people a little less uneasy, I will and have worn masks.
And as do I.
Okay.
I look at it as the sign on the doors that have been there since the 70s. No shirt, no shoes, no service.
Right. Yeah.
So you're going to a private business.
Right. Correct.
If that's the way they want to conduct it, you have a choice. Comply, wear a shirt, wear shoes, wear a mask, or go elsewhere.
Right. Absolutely.
And so when I go down to Freeport to visit family, there is a Hannaford store there, and they have that's very well posted, and they actually have one of those, tear out a mask if you don't bring one. And I complied. However, I always specifically wear my neon red hat that says Trump 2020, keep America great.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
You know what's amazing? When I broke my foot, when I used to live down there 2 years ago, and I was on 2 crutches, and I'm a white-haired type of guy. Okay.
Yep.
So I've got a few seasons under my belt.
Okay. And you're a law enforcement officer too. I always like to point that out.
Yeah, I was.
You was, yeah.
Yeah. And so I would go in there pushing, 2 crutches, pushing a cart. It's not an easy task. I had to stop and wait for people to get out of my way. No one would make eye contact. Nobody would.
Is that right?
Oh yeah.
Really? Because you had the hat on?
Oh no, I didn't have the hat back then.
Oh, okay.
This was 2 years ago.
Oh, all right, okay.
So now I just have a cane and a cart.
Okay.
And I wear my hat. And people cannot get out of my way fast enough.
Is that right? What now? Why do you suppose that is? Are they afraid you're an evil Trump supporter? And you're going to smack them with a cane?
No, I think they see the Moses gene in me.
Oh. You're going to part the aisles. I like it.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, there's been several times I've gone down there, and they've actually, because usually there's like 2 or 3 people that are queued up for, the 3 or 4 checkouts that are open.
Sure.
And I have gone in there wearing my neon red Trump hat, and all of a sudden the 5th aisle opens up, and they motion for me to come over.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Sarah Gideon.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Sarah Gideon can't. She cannot be elected. She just cannot, and I don't think she will be. I think I think people in Maine have enough sense and have seen through her ruse and her lies and her. She's so disingenuous. And
goodness, just her ads, they're not even consistent.
No, they aren't.
There's one ad that says Susan Collins voted 94% with Trump and McConnell, and then there's another ad that says Susan Collins is too liberal for Maine. Well,
yeah.
Which is it?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It's just so full of lies. I mean, I have never, I was former law enforcement in Cumberland County, and I have never met such a pathological, sociopathic liar.
Yeah.
I mean, this would have befuddled me in an interview. I would have had to call in my lieutenant.
She would make Adam Schiff proud, probably make Adam Schiff jealous, actually.
Oh, and Blumenthal.
Yeah. Oh God, Dick Blumenthal. That's a good name for him.
Yeah. So anyway, one more thing before you let me go.
Sure.
I gave you the Gunny's phone number. You got to call him.
Okay.
Because
right.
He is highly connected with local veteran issues and politics, and he's a source you're not going to appreciate until you talk to him.
Okay, good. We've got an hour and a half. I've got Savvy Lynn, and I will try to get him on. Would you be so kind has to text me his name and number again, and I will do my level best, Mikkel, to get him on.
He's not available today because he's
okay.
He's doing vet stuff. But
okay.
I want you to call him off air.
Okay.
And connect with him, because there's a lot of vets up here in Augusta that are struggling, and they in your broadcast, not Augusta, but because you're out of Augusta,
right?
Then broadcast area, they're not getting the information they need. And Gunny, he is a force to be reckoned with when it comes to vet issues.
Great.
And,
great. We love our veterans.
And he is so deeply connected with sources of information of anything you want to talk about deep state. And this is not a conspiracy stuff. This is legit, because he's a 3-tour Marine from Vietnam, forward recon, and he knows stuff.
Terrific.
And he knows people.
Okay. Mikkel, I appreciate it, sir.
You are welcome, and I will text you his name and number.
All right, buddy. You have a great day.
You too.
Bye now. 6219759 was the other one. They've probably gone. Hi, you're on with John. Who's
Hello?
this? Hey, hi.
Hi.
Hi, the Megan.
Yes, this is she.
Megan, this is she. What's wrong, Megan? Megan's out of...
I had an interesting morning already. Issues with my daughter's school. I've heard past shows and people be on line with you on the air talking about it. And now it's occurred with me.
I'm sorry. What's occurred to you now? I'm sorry. I was just...
Issues with my daughter's school. And you should be so proud of me, John, because I kept myself so composed without a cigarette or my morning coffee.
Oh, good for you. Are you still drinking the coffee, I hope?
Yes, I am now.
It's still...
But, my husband was even proud of me.
Well, good.
So we recently sent my daughter back to school in person, right?
Now, is this your... Now, I know you have an autistic child, right?
Yes.
Is this the daughter you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
And me and the principal had a discussion, right? And I had called the school district and I had talked to them about all the, concerns and issues I had, pertaining to everything that's going on right now and why I was a little apprehensive in sending her back to school in person.
Right.
Well, me and the principal had discussed it prior to her going back to school, all these issues. And he had talked me through it and, given me, the, reassurance not to worry. I told him how I felt about masks and the fact that my daughter has sensory problems because of her autism, that, she can't wear one.
Right.
She's protected by the Disabilities Act because of it. Well, he understood that. He said he respected that. And then we had an issue at school. It was, I think, last week, where 3 different teachers made her wear a mask after we had this discussion. Then it came to my attention that she had to have exemption form filled out for the mask, which I was never told about.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
And then I, wait days and days to get this form, right? And I don't receive it. And her teacher and her principal, when I picked her up from school one day, said, oh, well, we send it home with the nurse's form, because there's a nurse's form to fill out every year for any, new health problems for each new school year. And I'm like, no, I would have seen it. You would have it on file at the school if you had already given it to me and already been completed. So I finally get it. It was sent home with her on Friday. I didn't look at it until this morning. It has to be filled out by a doctor. And it also specifies on the form justifications for exemption are like serious emotional disturbing. And that kind of stuck out at me. So I got on the phone with her principal. And let me tell you what, he overtalked me. He interrupted me in the entire conversation. And I kept on saying politely to him, I was like, no, Mr. Flagg. I was like, if you had told me about this form, it would have already been completed ahead of time,
right,
before she even started going to school in person. I had been waiting for days for this form. You say you send it home multiple days in a row. You did not. I was like, do not patronize me and do not overtalk me. I was like, because you're lying to me right now. I was like, and I have proof of that because my husband was right there when we had the discussion before my daughter went back to school in person, and it was on speakerphone. So I have proof.
So that must have disarmed him.
Well, let's just say the typical, stereotypical left maneuver of on the defense. Every time I brought up a fact that was fact that could be proven, he interrupted me and overtalked me the entire conversation. I'm not kidding. My husband was ready to jump in and say something to him because that's how much I got interrupted.
Yeah. Well, that's typical, though. I mean, that's typical. They're on defense, and they have the upper hand because they are in charge. They're the principal, and they're in charge of the school, and they control what goes on. And whatever.
I never had issue with this principal before. I never had issues with this school prior to all this mass stuff and her going back to school in person. But let me tell you what, me and her father were not happy when we heard from our daughter, that 3 different teachers made her wear a mask. And then the principal was not aware of it, or at least it seemed like it. And he talked to the teachers. And then he made it sound like, oh, well, she was going out with a crowd into the hallway. And they were just saying in general to all kids, class, put on your mask, went in the hallway. But the thing was, it was one-on-one therapy she was transitioning between 3 different therapies. So she was by herself. And then one of the teachers made a fun task to decorate up a mask to make it seem fun, almost like to kind of ease the issue onto her, which I was not too pleased about.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that this stuff is going on at school, John, but I didn't think it would hit home. I thought I had a good decorum with the principal.
Yeah.
I thought, we were on the same page, and I explained to him, I said, you know what? I just asked that you be honest. Well, he's like, well, it's all about what your daughter needs now and her comfort and her blah, blah, blah. And, we've been, easy on the mask and everything, knowing that the exempt form has to be filled out and blah, blah. You're doing me a favor. No, I could sue you if you forced it upon her because she's protected by the Disabilities Act.
Well, that's your out right there. I mean, you've got the law on your side. And
I told him, I was like, I just asked you to be honest and upfront with me,
well,
as I've always been with you. And no matter how well you think you represent these students, she's my daughter. And I'm her advocate, her best advocate.
Good for you.
And I will always be her best advocate. I was like, but do not patronize me.
Yeah. And
do not lie to me.
But you know what, and I'm sure you've learned this over the years, especially with an autistic daughter, and I'm sorry about that. But you are your child's advocate, and there are so many parents who are hands-off parents, and they will not confront anybody about anything regarding their kids. It's the person who is in there making the noise who is going to make change, and good for you. You keep going at it, Megan.
Well, I will. And I'm telling you now, me and my husband have already discussed if we keep on having issues like this.
Yep.
Because this was the first school until this issue came up that we have not had issues within this district, with all her autism, no bullying, they've been pretty, hands-on with her and straight and forward with us, which is also what took me by surprise,
Yeah. Well.
And we said, if it comes down to it, it continues with this school, she's going either back to remote learning or we're going to move over near my father and get her in a different school district, which I went to when I was growing up.
Well,
it's smaller in size as a school. And, I can keep an eye on this kind of thing easier. And, I know the staff there are teachers still there that taught me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the size factor might be good, but always remember sometimes the devil you know is better than the devil you don't. And you're already working with these people, so if you can rectify things there, and it sounds like you're a real hands-on person, and I admire that as a parent, and I think you're going to be fine. I really do.
With her first school,
Yeah.
I have to be. It was horrible at her first school. She wasn't even there 3 months.
Yeah.
And she went to a different school because it was so bad. They weren't equipped to deal with her with the autism. They tried to patronize me, lie, every time I made a meme with them, they cancel it for some reason or other because they didn't want to have to face me. I even threatened to go to the Department of Disability and get an advocate and a lawyer for my daughter and sue them.
Yeah.
Because it got that bad.
Wow.
And I'm not going to let it get to that point again.
Good.
I refuse to.
Good. That's the tack you have to take. And I'm sure there are a lot of parents who can relate to exactly what you're saying. I mean, we had to be an advocate for one of our kids. And it was, it's called falling through the cracks. And this is what happens. And I admire you for what you're doing. And I wish you the best. And I hope you update us. I do have to run right now, Megan, but I appreciate your call.
Have a good day, John.
You have a good day, Megan. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
It's 10:41. Back with a lot more. I'm John James.
WSKW, Legacy 1160.
Hillary, Hillary, Hillary Koch, gentle and caring but strong as an oak, ready to fight for the regular folk. Hillary, Hillary, Hillary Koch, vote for Hillary Koch. Hillary, Hillary, Hillary Koch, affordable health care, that's no joke. It needs to be there for us regular folk. That's why I'm voting for Hillary Koch. Vote for Hillary Koch.
Paid for and authorized by Hillary Koch.
In 2013, we opened the Portland Hutton Alpine Club.
We're a small bar and restaurant. We have a dozen employees.
When the pandemic forced us to close, we went from being open 7 days a week to literally one day making nothing and dealing with months of having zero revenue for our business at all. We needed a PPP small business loan to keep our employees and just to keep our business.
We feel the responsibility of a dozen employees' livelihoods, their food, their shelter, their families. But Susan Collins wrote a loophole to let corporate chains take the small business loan, and Mitch McConnell included it in the law.
Big corporate chains scarfed up the money before most small businesses like ours had a chance. We feel totally abandoned by her.
They were supposed to be looking out for us.
Susan Collins and Mitch McConnell were just looking out for their big corporate donors and not Mainers.
Change Now is responsible for the content of this ad, paid for by Change Now. Make changenow.org, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee.
What does a many-generation Mainer think about this year's elections? I'm Senator Stacey Guerin. My roots are deep in our beautiful state of Maine. My grandfathers were lumberjacks and farmers. My dad worked at Dexter Shoe and Eastern Fine Paper. My grandmothers worked hard to can enough food to get their families through the winter, and my mother was a homemaker bookkeeper and is a community volunteer. I'm a former teacher, and my husband and I are small business owners. This year's elections are filled with ads from out of state, and the truth is hard to see. If you believe we should preserve our welfare benefits for the truly needy, and that working gives a person a better chance for a life filled with hope, you should vote for a Republican. If you believe that big government should get out of our lives, that it is our right to bear arms, and if you look at a sonogram and see a baby, then you should vote Republican. Don't let the out-of-state big money deceive you. You Mainers know the meaning of hard work, gun rights, and freedom. Vote to preserve that by voting for Republican candidates this year. Paid for by Stacey Guerin for Maine Senate.
This is Sarah Gideon, and for the past 16 months, you've welcomed me into your communities, into your homes and your businesses, to sit on your porches or under your barn and to talk and listen. Shannon, I remember being on your lobster boat with your 2 young sons who are ready to become the next generation of lobstermen. Mary, I remember you. We talked as I was checking out of the grocery store with my 13-year-old daughter, and you asked me, what are we going to do about Social Security? And Steve, I remember our conversation and your fear about what would happen to people like you if protections for pre-existing conditions are eliminated. This election is about all of you. It is about making sure you are represented. And if there's one thing that you can know, it's that I will fight for you and stand by you in the same way that I have in the State House. I'm Sarah Gideon, and I'm running for Senate to put Maine first. That's why I approve this message. Paid for by Sarah Gideon for Maine.
If you're a service technician looking for a career opportunity with great pay and benefits, and you have the experience, qualifications, and the drive to succeed, then call Bob's Cash Fuel in Madison. They want to talk to you. Starting out with just 1 truck for deliveries in 1981, they've grown into a locally owned and operated full-service company, offering experience and a staff of trusted, loyal professionals. Bob's Cash Fuel offers heating oil, kerosene, diesel, gasoline, propane, and 24-hour emergency service for heating, cooling, and delivery. delivery. And their new app allows you to order fuel from your phone, check account information, delivery status, make a payment, and more. Just download the app from the App Store. They can also prepare you for the hot weather with a Mitsubishi cooling and heating system featuring eco-comfort technology that lets you control each room individually, and it can be installed in less than a day with no ductwork. Get your Mitsubishi heating and cooling system professionally installed from Bob's Cash Fuel. To heat or cool and propane too, call Bob's Cash Fuel 696-3040 or visit online at bobscashfuel.com. Bob's Cash Fuel is an equal opportunity employer.
Take it to Moody's. Take it to Moody's Collision Center.
If your car is a wreck and you don't know where to go,
take it to Moody's.
You wanna get on with your life, get on with the show,
take it to Moody's.
Good people you can trust and it won't be a fuss.
Take it to Moody's Collision Centers.
MOODY. Your kid was talking on the cell phone, drove right through your own home, sitting in the parking lot. Maybe you get hit a lot, driving through the green light. Suddenly your side swipe, put it in reverse, but it turned out that it was first.
Take it to Moody's. Take it to Moody's Collision Centers.
I'm CBS 13 meteorologist Lexi O'Connor. Becoming mostly sunny for today with some light snow showers continuing in the mountains. It will be windy and cold with temperatures just in the 30s through this afternoon with gusts up to 40 to 50 miles per hour. Light snow showers overnight tonight into tomorrow morning and becoming partly sunny but cold, highs just in the upper 30s to near 40 degrees tomorrow. Mostly sunny mid-40s for Wednesday.
Your pep rally for freedom is back. Powered by the Gun Shop in Augusta on Coney Circle. Now, here's John James.
Welcome back. How you doing? 10:47 right now on Legacy 1160. Holy cow, the hour's flying by. Do we, hold on, I've got to double check on something here. Holy cow, yeah, we do. We've got another break to get in. The time flies, doesn't it? Coming up next hour, we'll have Savannah on, the Savvy Truth, and we'll find out what she's going to be doing for election specials, too. Maybe we'll have her on our show tomorrow night. We're going to be covering the election. Mike Violett and I will be here starting, I think, at 8 o'clock. So hopefully you'll be able to join us, and we'll have some guests on. We'll have Ethan Strimling is going to be here. Ken Altschuler, and I'm not sure who else is going to be on, but we'll certainly keep you apprised of what is happening. We'll be streaming on Facebook and on YouTube and on our website. By the way, Mikkel texted me. We are on the website now. We weren't. It was my fault. We do have the video. The video should be up and running just fine now at legacy1160.com on our new platform, and hopefully it seems to be working pretty well. And hopefully, if it works well, this is going to be the one we land on pretty much for good, seeing as I just signed a year contract for it. So we'll see. It's 10:49 right now. And Kamala Harris has her feet being held to the fire now. Do you want to know, if you're successful, if you believe in individualism, if you believe in freedom to succeed or to fail, if you believe in your ability to fail and then learn from that and pick yourself up, move on, and become an even bigger success, if you like that model, most Americans, most hardworking Americans, and I'm not talking about the political class, and I'm certainly not talking about the progressive left. If you like that model, I know they don't like the model. I'm not saying that none of them work hard. I'm just saying they don't like that model. They don't like individualism. Now, let's get that straight right now. That's one of the big caveats. That's one of the big differences between us and the progressive left. The progressive left does not like individualism. When you hear phrases like for the greater good, for the community, you know you're talking to a progressive. And you know they don't like individualism. I like the fact that I have failed. I have failed in the past. I don't cry about it for long. I may be a little bummed out for a while, but I get my second wind and I come back and I always end up in a better place than where I left off. Always, always. I make sure of it because I have a resolve. I have goals. I have a resolve. Do I always make it to exactly what I want to do? No. Some people do. Sometimes it's luck. Sometimes it's persistence. Other times it's just a matter of being in the right place in the right time. I guess you could call that luck. But more often than not, it's because you have goals, you have dreams, you have your sights on the prize. And you go for it because you can. Because you don't have to worry about Joe Schmo and Fancy Nancy or anybody else. You worry about you and they worry about themselves and everybody takes care of themselves. Those who can't make it, and there are those who can't make it, who need help, we can take care of those people because we do have charity in our heart. We can recognize people who need help, and we can choose and often do choose to help them. And we only do it because we have become successful enough to be able to do that. That is true community. People helping each other because they want to. This is why the Salvation Army exists. This is why Toys for Tots exists. This is why food pantries exist. In large part because people who are pretty well off, who have worked hard to get where they are, choose to help others. That is good. But when the government comes in and says, you must help others, even if they don't deserve it, you must help them. That's where the disconnect is. But that's where the progressives live. Because they have, you know it, they've always got those. And this is what they think with. Kamala Harris listened to this. I could not believe I was even hearing this. Responding to a video, Biden running mate Kamala Harris shared her philosophy of equality versus equity. Equality versus equity. Yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like. And UFC star and Trump supporter George Masvidal, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, blasted Harris and wrote this. This is right out of the Cuban Communist Manifesto. And George or Jorge, I don't know how he says his name. Again, I don't know the guy. I'm not a UFC fan. But this guy would know, right? So what is he talking about? All right, give a listen to the very smug, I'm better than you, believe the woman until you get a chance to gain power, Kamala Harris. This is what Kamala Harris has to say. You're going to love it.
So there's a big difference between equality and equity. Equality suggests, everyone should get the same amount. The problem with that, not everybody's starting out from the same place. So if we're all getting the same amount, but you started out back there and I started out over here, we can get the same amount, but you're still going to be that far back behind me. about giving people the resources and the support they need so that everyone can be on equal footing and then compete on equal footing. Equitable treatment means we all end up at the same place.
Oh, equitable treatment is we all end up at the same place. Oh, that's the real Kamala Harris. That's how she feels. Let me translate this for you. In other words, if I'm born and work my way up quickly because I have a sharp mind, great ideas, and the desire to be successful, then you need to be given the same opportunity as me. Even though you're lazy, just want to sit around all day and watch TV and have no motivation whatsoever. That's fair. That'll make America a great place, right? No, I don't think so, but I mean, look at me. I'm just a dumb, lazy, good-for-nothing radio guy. Here preaching what I see as the truth. Thank God Kamala Harris is here to give me what I need to be like Bill Gates or Jeff Bezos, assuming billionaires will even still be allowed if she's elected president. I mean, if Joe's elected president. How scary is that? That was Kamala Harris. We've got to end up at the same place. But I've been working 100 hours a week to build this business so I can employ all kinds of people and give them benefits and give them a life so they don't have to do all the work I did. To create their job, to create their future, to give them a reason to live, a way to raise a family, a way to enjoy their life. This guy just wants to eat nachos and play Nintendo all day long. Why should he end up where I am? Well, because that's equity. Thank you, Kamala, for the lesson in morality and civics there. That's awesome. I didn't know. I had no idea. It's that easy. Just give the have-nots who work not the same thing they need to get where I got, working 100 hours a week to create a living for those who really want to work. Not everybody wants to work 100 hours a week to build something great. They want to use their time, raising a family, enjoying the life they've created, enjoying their home, enjoying some free time. People have different values. People have different standards. People have different desires. You desire to work your life away and create something that hundreds or thousands can benefit from? Then have at it. It's your life. You want to sit there and eat nachos and do nothing, stay on your ass in your one-room apartment for the rest of your life, or be a basement dweller tweeting out hate against conservatives your whole life? Have at it. Have at it. But don't expect me to get your ass out of the basement and put you on equal footing with me, because I have worked hard to get here. Kamala Harris, shut up and go back to California. Meet up with Willie Brown. Maybe he'll give you more of what you want, more money, more power, more control in communist California. But stay the hell out of my life. I can't even believe people like that are given any credibility at all, and half the country wants to vote for her because she's great. Because they don't see what I see. They don't see what you see. They don't see a smug, care not about the woman now that power's in her vision. She doesn't care about anything but her own future. She doesn't care about you. She doesn't care about these people who are going to bring up to an equitable place. All Kamala cares about is Kamala. That's it. That's all. Nothing else. Or she would be all over Joe Biden to let Tara Reid be heard. Just after 11 o'clock. Back with more. Got to take a break here. I'm John James.
WSKW, AM 1160.
And Sarah Gideon for Senator Radio. Take one.
As a lifelong Mainer, I make it my...
Cut. Sarah, you were born in Rhode Island, so let's try take two, okay?
I'm Sarah Gideon, and I don't take corporate money.
Cut. Sarah, the research team says you did take corporate money, even though you tell us you don't. Let's keep going. Take three.
I'm Sarah Gideon, and on taxes...
Cut. Let's not go there. Sarah, you've tried 86 times to raise taxes and fees on everything from health care to heating oil to snowmobiles. So let's just move on to take four.
I'm working every day to...
Cut. You sent the legislature home 6 months ago and haven't done anything since then.
They don't need to know that.
Shut it down. Sarah, let's just toss this thing to someone who actually never stops working for Maine.
I'm Susan Collins, candidate for Senate, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Collins for Senator.
Augusta Mayor Dave Rollins.
We have a tradition of bipartisan state senators working to improve healthcare. Matt Pouliot, he's putting our healthcare at risk. Pouliot led the campaign opposing stronger vaccination laws. That's why I'm voting for Kaylee Hess. Kaylee is a public health professional. She advocates for children and helps people get health insurance. If healthcare is important to you, vote Kaylee Hess for state senate.
Paid for by the Maine Democratic Party, 320 Water Street, 3rd floor, Augusta, Maine. The top funder of the Maine Democratic Party is the Senate Democratic Campaign Committee, not paid for or authorized by any candidate.
It's been a long campaign, but after all the ads, after all the money spent, it really comes down to who can we really trust to fight for Maine and to do the right thing.
The choice comes down to this. With Sarah Gideon playing politics, trying to raise gas taxes, even the illegal campaign contributions, it's all bad. But the sex predator, the teacher sex predator in the legislature who Sarah Gideon protected, leave after the press hated. I'm sorry, but that's just wrong. We can't trust Sarah Gideon. She's just too risky a choice. We know Susan Collins, and we can count on Susan Collins to do right by Maine.
Let's keep Susan Collins working hard for Maine in the U.S. Senate. Responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Electrical repair should never be done without the knowledge of how to do it safely. Better yet, skip that stress and let Kennebec Electric and Lighting take care of it for you. Kennebec Electric has offered professional electric and lighting service and expert installation in homes and businesses for over 37 years, and they stand behind that experience with a guarantee on all their work. Kennebec Electric and Lighting. Contact them for all your electric and lighting servicing, including installations and repairs at 861-7028 or online at KennebecElectric.com.
Sales and service by a family who cares. Whittemore and Sons, Whittemore and Sons.
There are some things you can simply never depend on, like getting your office printer to work on the first try. Another paper jam? Come on. But know that you can always count on Whittemore & Sons in our line of Coyote tractors. Coyote tractors are machines made to work, whether it's mowing, tilling, digging, lifting, or hauling. Check out the full line of tough and versatile Coyote tractors, attachments, implements, and accessories at Whittemore & Sons, your Coyote tractor dealer, with dependable sales and service for over 50 years. Run ahead of the pack with a Coyote tractor from Whittemore & Sons on the Waterville Road in Skowhegan. Sales and service by a family who cares.
From work to fun, we'll help you get it done. Whittemore and Sons, outdoor power equipment. Take it to Moody's. Take it to Moody's Collision Center.
If your car is a wreck and you don't know where to go,
take it to Moody's.
You wanna get on with your life, get on with the show.
Take it to Moody's.
Good people you can trust, and it won't
Take it to Moody's Collision Centers.
Your kid was talking on the cell phone, drove right through your own home, sitting in the parking lot. Maybe you get hit a lot, driving through the green light. Suddenly your side swipe, put it in reverse, but it turned out that it was first.
Take it to Moody's. Take it to Moody's Collision Centers.
From the Home Auto Group Studios, Farmington Ford and Franklin Chrysler in Farmington. This is WSKW, Skowhegan, Augusta, Waterville, Legacy 1160.
ABC News Now, I'm Jim Ryan. As President Trump and Joe Biden hit the battleground states one last time before the election, police gear up for whatever might happen. ABC Chief Justice Correspondent Peter Thomas is in Washington.
There's real concern about the potential for civil unrest, and while no specific threat has been identified, sources tell us a number of suspects have been under surveillance, and last week authorities arrested suspected neo-Nazis who allegedly had a list with the names of prominent people, including some from Black Lives Matter.
Nearly 100 million Americans already have cast their ballots early. Florida, Georgia, Texas, and North Carolina are all states with massive early voting. They've already begun counting those votes. President Trump suggests that he will fire the nation's top infectious disease specialist after the election. Speaking at a rally in Florida over the weekend, his supporters began chants of "Fire Fauci." Dr. Anthony Fauci has become increasingly vocal about his frustration with the president's handling of the pandemic. This is ABC News. The newest Supreme Court Justice, Amy Coney Barrett, is hearing her first oral arguments as a member of the High Court today. Great Britain is ready to join France and Germany in new national coronavirus lockdowns. ABC's Tom Rivers says the lockdown there starts on Thursday.
The current regional measures simply aren't doing the job, hence a more drastic move to a national shutdown to curb the virus spread. Prime Minister Boris Johnson.
From Thursday until the start of December, you must stay at home. You may only leave home for specific reasons, including for education, for work. If you cannot work from home.
Medical officials here say without this strong measure, the UK health system could be overwhelmed within weeks. Tom Rivers, ABC News, London.
The COVID-19 closures are forcing another restaurant chain into bankruptcy. This time, it's Friendly's, the East Coast restaurant company best known for its ice cream and sundaes. All 130 locations are expected to stay open during the bankruptcy. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
I worry about lots of things. My finances, my grandkids.
If you're 65 or older, you have enough things to worry about. Pneumococcal pneumonia shouldn't be one of them. Even healthy adults 65 and older are at increased risk for this potentially serious bacterial lung disease that can disrupt your life for weeks. Help protect yourself with the Prevnar 13 pneumococcal 13-valent conjugate vaccine, diphtheria CRM 197 protein. Prevnar 13 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 13 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Prevnar 13 does not protect against all strains of the disease. Don't get Prevnar 13 if you have had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with a weakened immune system may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-866-694-9300 or visit Prevnar13.com. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 13.
You're listening to Freedom's Pep Rally on Legacy 1160, where Black voices matter.
History is about learning from it. I don't want to see us become like the Taliban or ISIS. Those are the people that destroy history.
How can you have systemic discrimination in Chicago when the leadership is minority? I know what systemic discrimination is. It does not exist.
If you say all lives matter, which is true, that includes Black lives, ladies and gentlemen, you get fired.
Here's your Pep Rally host, John James.
Isn't that true? If you say all lives matter, which is true, and includes Black lives, you get fired. That's necessarily true in a majority of the cases. It happens. How about that? Listen, I want to show you something here. If you were Facebook. It's my third batch. My best batch of beef jerky. Made with muscle meat, not ground beef. And it is beef. It's not a chicken or turkey, and it's delicious. It's sweet and spicy. Oh, I want everybody to try some of my jerky. My son-in-law loved it. I gave him a bunch to take home. So it's right there. If you want some, come get it. I'm only here till noon. 11:11 on Legacy 1160 WSKW. Yeah, black voices do matter. And not all black voices echo the progressive drumbeat. And they are, unfortunately, black voices that don't echo that progressive drumbeat are called Uncle Toms. They're called race traitors. They're called a lot of nasty things by the left, by blacks and whites, as a matter of fact, and Hispanics. Samantha Marica is one of the incredible voices in our Black Voices Matter series. Now, I think this may be the second time we featured her. Unlike most of the woke on the left, she puts feelings aside and she speaks with common sense and reality. Something that is apt to get many people canceled if they aren't tough enough to take the enormous pushback, the criticism, the physical threats that come with speaking out. This is Samantha Marica. It's a very short piece. And she did it in her kitchen. And it's, well, I don't know what she calls it. I'm going to call it Welcome to 2020. Here is Samantha Marica. This is awesome.
Welcome to 2020. If you say all lives matter, that means you're a racist. If you support the police, that means you hate black people. If you stand for the national anthem, well, that means you're a white nationalist. If you say save our children, that means you're a conspiracy theorist. If you say cancel cuties, that just means you're a right-winger. If you support Donald Trump, you definitely support the KKK. If you question wearing a mask, that means you want to kill grandma. If you question COVID-19, that means you're an absolute loon who doesn't believe in science. And please, in 2020, do not talk about the sun. Welcome to 2020, where if you think for yourself and you question everything and anything, they will censor, block, and delete you. But don't worry, because in 2020, you can sing about your WAP and spread your legs open and gyrate all over stage. You can support pedophilia. You can burn and loot mom and pop shops. And you can murder people, as long as they're Trump supporters or cops. Oh, and please, in 2020, make sure you listen to the woke athletes and woke celebrities who are telling you how to think. Because if you think for yourself, you're not on the road to wokeism. Welcome to 2020. Or is this 1984?
Oh, boom! Samantha Marica. Black Voices Matter series. Incredible. And I want to show you the other side of this right now. If you are familiar, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Caitlin Bennett. One of our guests this hour certainly is. Her name is Savvy Lynn, the Savvy Truth. We're going to have her on after 11:30 this morning. But she's a huge fan of Caitlin Bennett. Caitlin hosts a vlog, I guess you'd call it. Anybody who follows conservative politics and you know, looks around on social media at all, understands and knows who Caitlin Bennett is. Well, this goes back to Black History Month. And this is very good. I've got to find it here real quick. Okay, here we go. Kate's Unsafe Space is the name of the video blog she does. She goes to college campuses and tries to find out how badly students are indoctrinated in believing that conservatives are all bad and that they are victims because of their color or social status or both, or more. In this piece, she goes to the University of Akron in Ohio during Black History Month with musical musician Joel Patrick, who identifies himself as the legendary Black Redneck. Now, he's black but also conservative. So this group of black university students immediately cancels him. And there's this one girl, listen to her. This one girl tries to convince him that she cannot succeed because people hurt her feelings. Now, some parts are a little hard to hear with all of the voices, but you'll be able to pick up on the main parts. So here it is. This is an excerpt from Kate's Unsafe Space during Black History Month, University of Akron.
Africa is a developing country. It has some of the top 10 development nations in the whole wide world. We're the richest continent on this planet.
What's going?
How are you? So you're telling me I'm not?
Am I not black enough now? I'm not an African American. I'm an American. Okay? I've never been to Africa. I've never been to Africa. There's no better country to be a person of color than America. If you find a better country, I would love to hear about it.
It's Black History Month here at the University of Akron, and this is how everybody's treating a black Trump supporter. Very inclusive, very diverse, very cool and progressive.
So progressive.
I have been stopped on the street with my mom running in my town for someone to call me and tell us that we are and that we should not be there. And then they called us these people.
And that affected you how? How did that affect your wallet? How did that affect your ability to get a job? How did that affect your ability to exist in this country as a free person?
Because it makes you feel like no one
So it hurt your feelings, okay? But how did that affect?
I'm sorry, wait, you say it hurt my feelings.
You said it hurt your feelings.
It makes you feel unwanted, so you don't go out for things. It shows you that you don't have the effort, you don't have what it takes to go up in this country because they don't want you here. You're not good enough as
So why would you let somebody that is so stupid that they would say something so ignorant dictate your behavior in any way, shape, or form?
I'm not letting them dictate me, but I'm telling you that's what everyone thinks.
I'm not talking to you.
If that's what everyone thinks, they don't want you to go up in this country. So they don't give you the opportunity you need.
So then you bust your butt and you show them that you don't care what they think, and you become successful. And I can applaud that.
My mother was a single mother, worked 3 jobs my whole life.
Exactly.
To get me where I am now. And you are...
It cannot stop
you. Yes, it does.
No, it does not stop you.
The opportunity she needs. My mom worked her ass to get a manager position in a hospital. She has her master's degree and she's going out for her doctorate because not only did other people tell her that she shouldn't do it, but she knew herself that she should without getting the opportunities that she wanted herself. So she did go out and bust her butt. But
so
that does not mean that everyone didn't put her down along the way.
But they didn't stop her. And that's what I'm saying. Racism is not a significant issue enough to stop you.
Are you what?
It's not going to stop you.
50 years. She has gone out for 50 years. That has not stopped her.
It hasn't stopped her. You said she's still going.
How are you? So you're telling me you have not gone
Am I not black enough now?
You're telling me you have not gone through any racism in your life.
You didn't say
none. You've never gone through
I said I'm not an African American. I didn't say I wasn't black. Right. I'm an American.
Okay, all right, okay. You get the point. Here's this woman who says that people keep her down. They tell her she can't do stuff. Well, she's on a college campus, first of all, so everybody is of her mindset. They become so pampered, so babied. All the students, all the left students become so babied. And you heard this young girl screaming at this black musician who has done well for himself, screaming at him, saying that they make her feel bad. They made her mother feel bad. So her mother went and got her master's degree. Now she's going for her doctorate. Whoa, wait a minute. But she just said that black people can't succeed in America. But her mother decided she was going to succeed and did. Do you understand? America is not a racist country. There are racists and they are idiots. We can all agree on that. Well, most of us can, except the racists. We can all agree on that. How about the nerd in class? How about the misfit in class who can't afford any new clothes? His parents sends him in hand-me-downs with holes in them, and he has an odor about him. I went to school with a couple of kids like this, and being part of the crowd when I was in grammar school made fun of them. I was one of the first to come to their rescue, by the way. I want you to know that, because I couldn't stand seeing these kids. They cried. They felt bad. They were bullied. I got to the place where the crowd didn't matter to me anymore. I just wanted to make the person that was the target feel better. But you see what I'm saying? Any of these people, any type, black, white, it doesn't matter. People have obstacles people have to carry a cross in some way, shape, or form through life. Those, many times, those who have the hardest burden, the biggest obstacles in their way, do the best in life because they know what it's like to be there. And moreover, these people, once they become successful, become great voices. Great voices. And huge helps to those who are suffering from the same type of situation they did. Is there anything more uplifting than hearing somebody who's black or somebody who's downtrodden, somebody who had a horrible life as a child, tell you the story about how they pulled themselves up and went on to do great things? Is there anything more inspirational than that? You don't continually tell people they're being kept down by the system, they're being kept down by racists, they're being kept down by bullies, and expect them to succeed and not want a handout. Yet that's what the progressive left does day in and day out with people who are of different socioeconomic statuses, have grown up in black communities or rundown communities. You can't do it. We're here to help. We're the government. That's what they want you to believe. You cannot do it without them. That is their foot in the socialist door. And those who are drinking the Kool-Aid and allowing it are deplorable and don't deserve what America has to offer. If you are doing well and you are for Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, then you are very selfish. You don't want others to do well like you. You've got the Jeff Bezos and the Bill Gates of the world who hate the status quo in this country, even though it's made them rich beyond belief, because apparently they don't want you to be able to attain what they did. Otherwise, they'd say, let's reelect Trump because he wants what we have for everybody who wants to work for it. It's pathetic. These people are the dregs of society. Many of them are rich beyond belief. Many of them are loud and obnoxious beyond belief. Many of them are enraged beyond any belief. And they are loud. And they have answers for everything. And they will do everything to convince you that Orange Man bad, Biden and Harris saviors. Don't go down that road. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. Don't be a lemming. You've got the same type of election here in Maine. We've got Susan Collins. We've got Sarah Gideon, who doesn't even know how to pronounce her last name. Gideon or Gideum. Depends on what ad you watch. I've watched her lips. She says, Gideum. And it's clearly Gideon. I'm telling you, it's as clear as the sun in the sky how disingenuous these people are. But the woke crowd is sound asleep. They don't see anything but hate. Hate for the system, hate for the president. And they want to go down that road that so many have traveled before and never been successful at. But because AOC says we can be successful, and because AOC says the world's going to end in 11 years if we don't switch over to sunlight and wind, they're willing to throw it all away. They're willing to toss it all out the window. They know not what they do. They are mere angry children throwing a big, humongous, nationwide temper tantrum. 1125. Legacy 1160 WSKW. Good news. Trafalgar Group. You heard of them? Robert Cahaley, senior strategist for the Trafalgar Group. Made a name for himself back in 2016, 4 years ago, the only pollster to correctly show Donald Trump with a lead in Michigan and Pennsylvania. Those are two key states he carried. He didn't poll Wisconsin, which was another Trump victory. Cahaley was on Fox News yesterday with Maria Bartiromo, who noted that his polls are so different than the other polls, and asked him, could you please tell us what you're seeing here?
Well, we are different, and what we're seeing is a movement toward Trump with late breakers. We're also seeing folks that had initially given every indication they were going to support Biden or they were undecided, moving toward Trump. And the issue we see moving on is shutdowns. Even young people who identify that they don't like the president, they like shutdowns even less. Even suburban women who say they have problems with the president, they like their children at home and shutdowns even less.
There you go. Trafalgar Group, again, this is the only poll that got it right in 2016. This could be a very good sign for Donald Trump. They see victory in the future. Again, we won't know. We just don't know. This is too close to be able to go out on a limb and say, well, Trump's going to win it. We say that with cautious optimism, absolutely. But we can't say it for sure because there are just too many. In fact, this is scary. This is very sad and scary because I've been talking about this since we first came on the air over a year ago, that count nothing out when it comes to voter fraud. And this is before we knew anything about all the crap that was going to go on surrounding Donald Trump and COVID-19 and the race wars and yada, yada, yada. I mean, this is before any of that and the mail-in voting. And the Trafalgar Group, the guy said last night that for Trump to win Pennsylvania, it's going to have to be by, at least a 4 or 5% margin because he feels there is going to be so much voter fraud in Pennsylvania, it's going to have to be by a big margin. How about that? And you know what? If Donald Trump wins, what's it going to be? He's racist. It was voter suppression. Yeah, I mean, he can't win. He cannot get a bone thrown at him. 1129 on Legacy 1160 WSKW. This was good. Judge Jeanine Pirro had a great open on Fox News Saturday, showing the stark contrast between corrupt, lying, creepy Joe Biden and Donald Trump. I want you to hear a little bit of this. She makes fun of Joe's slogan, Build Back Better, wondering what, after 47 years of doing nothing, what is he going to actually build back better, and suggest maybe his beloved China. Jeanine Pirro is awesome, and here is a bit, actually more than a little over 5 minutes of her open. This is very, very good.
And as Joe Biden proposes the biggest tax increase, $6,500 estimated for middle Americans, increased regulations, essentially shutting down the economy and factories, bringing in socialized medicine, defunding police, globalist trade deals, the elimination of oil and fracking. President Donald Trump has raised middle-class income by more than $6,000 in 3 years, and that doesn't even include the energy savings. But most important, President Trump has kept his promises to the American people, unlike the two-faced parasites in Washington who are in it for themselves. Donald Trump truly wanted to make America great again, and he did. In the beginning, he took on the media, and they said it was suicide, but he was right, and we saw it for ourselves. And he was right about big tech as we watch to control what we communicate to each other. That, my friends, is socialism and fascism. In 2016, Donald Trump talked about law and order. Little did we know how much the left despises law and order. Now, Joe Biden said nothing for 100 days as businesses and cities were burning and police and others killed. But Joe Biden, he wants to build back better. What is he going to build back better? If he had 47 years and never built anything other than jails to incarcerate a whole generation of young blacks he called predators. Joe Biden is a part of the gang that will not defend your religious freedom. He's not going to fight for your right to go to church, a house of worship, or synagogue. And on the other hand, as a Christian, Donald Trump took on those who made believers feel uncomfortable. He was the first president to actually move the embassy to Jerusalem. The first president to nominate a Supreme Court justice who actually admitted during confirmation that she was pro-life. All the talk of the presidents in the last 47 years since Roe versus Wade was decided, this president is the only one who actually walked the walk for Christians and evangelicals, which is why that community overwhelmingly, by more than 80%, supports President Donald Trump. This president is a man of his word. He has kept his promise to America, bringing us the greatest economy in the history of our nation. He has brought us freedom, prosperity, judicial restraint, security, and law and order. He believes in God and he believes in country. He believes in law and he believes in order. He believes in you and he believes in me. This election is a choice. You can spend the next 4 years in the dark, depressed with police defunded, with Beto O'Rourke coming for your guns, and Elizabeth Warren in charge of the Treasury, with Kamala Harris, the most left candidate in the Senate, who is pro-criminal and anti-police, paying more taxes, making less money. And that's assuming you even have a job or they even let you go to the job. Or you can vote for the man who has delivered on criminal justice reform, on opportunity zones, on police reform, on school choice, on building the wall, on destroying the ISIS caliphate, on bringing us the greatest economy America has ever seen, on bringing our troops home, on insisting on religious freedom again, speech that is free again, and protecting our Second Amendment right to bear arms. He is a true American who believes in God and country. Our last quarter's economic growth was the best ever recorded by more than double in history. A GDP of 33.1%. He said it would happen and it did. Donald Trump put together his own rainbow coalition of African Americans and Hispanics and Asians, people of all colors, with more jobs than the people to fill them. He has reawakened our American spirit. He has reignited the flame of liberty. He's a man whose philosophy is based not on politics, but on reason. He has prioritized law and order and the safety of American citizens. The first president to actually do something about the southern border. The first president who understands that we are born with certain natural rights that come not from the government, but from God. And that government wields power only with the consent of the governed, and that's us. So the choice is yours. A dark, dreary future with shutdowns, factories closing, jobs eliminated, economic depression, your free speech eliminated, your guns confiscated, and Big Brother interfering with your religious freedom and your life. But if you choose the man who has withstood what no other president has, who believes in truth, justice, and the American way, and if you want freedom, prosperity, peace, security, safety, a soaring economy, a strong military, the freedom to say what you want and do what you want, and the ability to defend yourself and your family, there is only one man who can deliver on that promise, and that's President Donald Trump.
Amen. Judge Jeanine Pirro. A great voice. Another great voice, a young voice, a 16-year-old voice who is wise way beyond her 16 years. Her name is Savannah Lynn. She does a show called The Savvy Truth, which we've turned a bunch of people onto and hope to continue doing that. You can find her on any social media channels at thesavvytruth.com. The Savvy Truth. Forget the .com. The Savvy, SAVVY Truth. Follow her. She has great interviews. She has great shows. She has great commentaries. She's an old soul and a vivacious and energetic young woman. And she was at a Trump rodeo last night. We'll find out more about that coming up when we talk with Savvy. Stick around. Back in a few minutes. I'm John James.
Legacy 1160, WSKW.
My insurance kept going up and up and up and up.
I was getting a lot of mail about Medicare.
I could never have navigated through the loopholes.
These Mainers found help at Senior Planning Center, which represents all major Medicare health plans.
Senior Planning Center was a lifesaver.
Senior Planning Center did it all.
Gave me all my options and signed me up with what I needed within an hour.
Open enrollment runs October 15th through December 7th. Call 223-6565. Help when it matters most. SeniorPlanningCenter.com.
Delta Ambulance is the area's leading provider of high-quality emergency services and medical transportation in central Maine. You can always rely on Delta for safe transportation for routine or critical care transfers to and from any healthcare facility or home, regardless of distance. Since 1972, Delta Ambulance has been standing by, ready to help when you need it most. Learn more about the difference Delta makes at deltaambulance.org. Compassion, leadership, excellence. That's Delta Ambulance.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Poirier, running for State House District 107. As a lifelong Skowhegan resident who's raised 7 sons and served on our school board for over a decade, I know the importance of building Maine's future. That's why when elected, I will work to control state spending and I'll prioritize teaching trades and living skills in our schools. I'll back reforms that support small businesses, and I will be there for our most vulnerable populations. I'm Jennifer Poirier, asking for your vote for State House in District 107.
Paid for and authorized by Jennifer Poirier for State Representative.
I'm Sarah Gideon, running for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message. Paid for by Sarah Gideon for Maine.
Okay, we're back. With Election Day fast approaching, big news today in the race for Senate. For more on that, we go to Kate Piper in the newsroom.
That's right. Investigative reporters at ProPublica writing that newly uncovered emails reveal in 2017, Senator Susan Collins protected a controversial tax break for Wall Street that has now resulted in billionaire investors giving a fortune to her campaign. The report details that Susan Collins was discussing legislation to crack down on the industry, but suddenly had a change of heart. And here's the part that could get the attention of the Ethics Committee. The report explains how 2 hedge fund CEOs, each of whom saved tens of millions from Collins' actions, have now funneled $3.5 million to try and re-elect her. It remains to be seen so close to the election if this will have an impact, but it looks like this is a story that will continue to unfold.
Thanks, Kate. Back in a minute after a word from our sponsors.
The preceding was a simulated news report paid for by Sarah Gideon for Maine.
Take it to Moody's. Take it to Moody's. Collision Center.
If your car is a wreck and you don't know where to go,
take it to Moody's.
You wanna get on with your life, get on with the show,
take it to Moody's.
Good people you can trust, and it won't be a fuss.
Take it to Moody's. Collision Centers.
M-O-O-D-Y. Your kid was talking on the cell phone, drove right through your own home, sitting in the parking lot. Maybe you get hit a lot, driving through the green light. Suddenly your side swipe, put it in reverse, but it turned out that it was first.
Take it to Moody's. Take it to Moody's. Collision Centers.
What does a mini-generation Mainer think about this year's elections? I'm Senator Stacey Guerin. My roots are deep in our beautiful state of Maine. My grandfathers were lumberjacks and farmers. My dad worked at Dexter Shoe and Eastern Fine Paper. My grandmothers worked hard to can enough food to get their families through the winter, and my mother was a homemaker bookkeeper and is a community volunteer. I'm a former teacher, and my husband and I are small business owners. This year's elections are filled with ads from out of state, and the truth is hard to see. If you believe we should preserve our welfare benefits for the truly needy and that working gives a person a better chance for a life filled with hope, you should vote for a Republican. If you believe that big government should get out of our lives, that it is our right to bear arms, and if you look at a sonogram and see a baby, then you should vote Republican. Don't let the out-of-state big money deceive you. You Mainers know the meaning of hard work, gun rights, and freedom. Vote to preserve that by voting for Republican candidates this year. Paid for by Stacey Guerin for Maine Senate.
I'm CBS 13 meteorologist Lexi O'Connor. Becoming mostly sunny for today with some light snow showers continuing in the mountains. It will be windy and cold with temperatures just in the 30s through this afternoon with gusts up to 40 to 50 miles per hour. Light snow showers overnight tonight into tomorrow morning and becoming partly sunny but cold, highs just in the upper 30s to near 40 degrees tomorrow. Mostly sunny mid-40s for Wednesday.
Almost over. Tomorrow, baby. Woo!
Campaigning is done. Tomorrow, you can take your lawn signs down. Tomorrow, it's all done.
It's all done.
No more rally crowds. Tomorrow, no more Facebook fights after tomorrow.
Don't bet on it.
Let's be done.
I wish.
No more stupid, insane campaign commercials. And no matter who wins, it ends Tuesday. I hope we find out tomorrow, 'cause I can't take more after tomorrow. All the hate.
It's finished.
Tomorrow. It's over. Tomorrow. Thank God it's election day. Tomorrow. It's over. Tomorrow. Thank God it's election day.
Your pep rally for freedom is back. Powered by the Gun Shop in Augusta on Coney Circle. Now, here's John James.
Hey, welcome back. 11:43 right now. It's 17 till noon time. I know I don't know what we're going to talk about after the election. I think there'll be plenty, though, to be totally honest with you. We'll be talking about a Trump win, I hope. Savannah Lynn hopes so, too. Savannah from the Savvy Truth. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm excited about tomorrow. This is going to be tomorrow's the official day where we decide the fate of our country for the next 200 years, and I cannot be more nervous but excited about it.
You know, that is so wise. I mean, you're right. We will be deciding the state of our country for the next 200 years. There's no question about it. And
I know people will say that, you know, every election, every presidential election, this is the end of our country, it's the fate of our country. But honestly, this is the most important election. And if the fact that our country has been burning down for 9 months wasn't evidence enough for that, all we really need to do is listen to Joe Biden speak, the Democrats talk, and for the fake news media to blab some new lie about Trump to know that someone is getting nervous.
It's sad. It's sad what people are sucking up as truth, and they just can't get over themselves. The hatred for Trump is palpable, and it's disgusting. And yeah, tomorrow's the big day. The good news is, though, Trump is doing well in a bunch of states. I mean, he's got the momentum, and I think the momentum is with the underdog, which he has been in all the polling, with the exception of the Trafalgar Group from the start. So we're in a pretty good place, I hope. And
well, I sure hope so too, because this is, people say, if I'm looking at the polls, they say it's pretty tight. They say Biden has the lead in a few states where I was like, that's Trump won those last year. I'm praying to God he wins them again. But honestly, we keep proving the polls wrong, and I'm really hoping we prove the polls wrong again. We get 306 votes, and maybe even more than that this year.
You know, I'm hoping it turns into a huge surprise in the form of a landslide, but we'll see. And, you know, and this could be, if Donald Trump doesn't win, as you and I both know, And everybody else knows that this could be the last election decided by the Electoral College, depending on what happens with Congress.
Well, I mean, the Democrats have already said plenty of times that if they do win, the Electoral College is gone.
Yeah.
They will pass the court. Mandate for everything now. And you know what? Your freedom, you might as well kiss them goodbye.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, before we go any further, I just want to say congratulations to you on participating in a huge rodeo last night.
Oh, yes. The big Trump 2020 rodeo for all of Texas was last night. We had people from Laredo, from Kingsville, from Dallas to Austin, to San Antonio, all coming down to this rodeo in the heart of Texas, and it was so freaking awesome. I got to compete against professional barrel racers from the NFR, which was totally awesome, like Ailey Kinsel. It was crazy.
Unbelievable. So now you said there were 500 competitors?
Yes.
How long?
500 competitors.
How long did this take?
Well, it was supposed to start at 1, but they did not get done until probably midnight.
Wow. So you were home pretty late. And
yes, I was.
And then you had something else. Your mother had said you had something else too. I was floored that, and I'm floored now that you're up and doing it. Of course, you're it's not even noontime, or rather 11 o'clock there yet. So you're up early after that long night of stuff. Now, are you going to be doing any election night specials on the Savvy Truth?
You know, I think tomorrow we're just going to live stream the election, and maybe we'll do some commentary on the side. But I'm going to be sitting in front of Fox News TV with my little calendar of the United States with all the little states on it and their votes, their red, and what my predictions are going to be. And I'm just going to be sitting there praying.
Yeah,
that's all I'm going to be doing tomorrow, praying.
I pray we get election results tomorrow night, or at the very latest, sometime early or midday Wednesday. I hate to think that this could go on for weeks, but I guess it really depends on how close the race is and how many mail-in votes, and there are tons of them, haven't been counted. Now, you as a 16-year-old, you amaze me. You're an old soul. You are a very wise young woman, and you are totally up to what you're doing, easily up to what you're doing. And I'm still predicting that one day you're going to be on Fox and Friends, or you're going to be doing your own show on Fox Nation or something like that. I totally see it. I totally predict it right now. You're hearing me now. But as a 16-year-old who cannot vote, why do you, as a young person, a young conservative woman, feel that we need to elect Donald Trump? What are some of the things you want to see and don't want to see from this election?
Well, it simply boils down to the fact that this election is going to determine the fate of our country, whether America stays America or whether we turn into Venezuela and socialist China. And now I know that people have said for every presidential election that this decides our fate. No. The 2020 election is officially deciding the fate of our country, and we can go to the side of the squad, the mob, the socialists, and the domestic terrorists who would rather see the country burn to the ground by themselves and blame it on Trump, or we can go the way of the American patriot, of the greatest booming economic comeback in the history of the world, the way of peace, prosperity, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, the way of the American dream, and the way of the greatest nation on this planet. Or we can go the way of the Democrats. I mean, it's up to y'all. I cannot vote. I am not legally allowed to vote. If I was a Democrat right now, I probably could vote. But as a law-abiding citizen, I'm going to wait for the year and a half until I can vote again.
Absolutely.
It's up to you.
Yeah, and we need to do it for people like Savvy, people who believe in America, people who have young people who have actually studied history, who don't feel like they're the victim every 2 minutes, who want to succeed in life by their own free will and their own talent and their own chutzpah, if you will. And
I know it's hard to believe that there are people out there and kids my age out there who still want to work hard for what we have, and we don't actually need everything handed to us, because believe it or not, we're very capable. We're a very quite capable generation, and we need the government to stop handing things to us, stop treating us like we're incompetent, and we need to start working for ourselves again.
Why do you think, Savvy, that it is that so many young people feel the government owes them the free health care, the free college tuition, the free health care to illegal aliens, free this, free that. Why is it there aren't more young people? And there are a lot. I will tell you that. I know some myself. I've got some in my own family who believe as you do. But why do so many believe that capitalism and individualism and the American experiment for over 240 years is bad and oppressive? Why?
Well, first of all, I have to say that maybe the time out generation didn't raise the same sort of kids as you get your ass beat generation. There's that. That's the main thing right there.
I love
it. But also, it comes to the fact that we've passively raised kids these days to believe that they're special and that the government owes them something. I mean, I got participation trophies.
Oh, yeah.
Every kid my age got participation trophies, and I always hated it because I don't want it to be handed to me. I want to work for it. I want to be the one standing up on the highest pedestal saying, listen, I got here because of my hard work, not because of someone else's dogma. And this generation seems to believe that they just need things handed to them because they're special. Well, guess what? You're not special. See, America has certain things that are unalienable rights to everyone, and that's life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. Equality is not among them. We have a social hierarchy here where your talents and your hard work decide where you'll be. And you know what? Acting special and thinking that you're all that doesn't get as much reward as working hard. The people who spend their time working overtime for their families. The middle class Americans who just want a better life for themselves. That's who this country rewards. The hard-working people. It does not reward the people who sit on their butts all day and expect people to just hand them things.
Boom. Oh, my word. You have no teleprompter. You have no Savannah for president. Wow. You summed it all up right there. And I love the timeout generation. Isn't that the truth, huh? Wow.
It totally is. And I know that that's going to be a very controversial thing that I just said, that we're not guaranteed equality, that's not an alienable right. But it sadly is the truth. I will always have different abilities and different gifts than someone else next to me. I have been blessed with a totally different aspect of things than my next door neighbor. And that might help me in the future or that might hurt me in the future. You never know. But it's up to you to decide where and what and who you're going to use your gifts for. And that's what's wrong with this country right now, is that maybe you were given a few gifts and you hid them and you didn't use them and you didn't try to multiply them. Or maybe you have tons of gifts and you don't use them because you think you have enough. Versus the kid who has this one gift, but he's working so hard to double it and turn it to 2, then 4, then 8, then 16. And then eventually, hey, look, he's Donald Trump, and he's the biggest billionaire in the world who became president of the greatest country in the world.
Wow. That is so well said. You know, and as you know, and I know, because we've both done it, it's good to lose sometimes. It makes you self-aware. It shows you what your strengths and weaknesses are. It gives you resolve to do better the next time. You understand that, Savvy. We need to...
Oh, I completely do. Last night, Trump Rodeo, take that for example. You could not have found another 16-year-old on the planet who would have loved to have a Trump 2020 buckle more than I did. But you know what? I didn't win because there was someone else out there who had a faster horse, who had a cleaner run, and who had a better time than me. And I'm just going to have to live with that. I didn't win, but I'm going to have to work harder the next time and just keep clawing my way to the top. You are not guaranteed anything. Even if you think you deserve the world, you don't. It's up to you to earn the world. I'm not handing it to you.
Savannah Lynn, you are awesome. Thank you. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for your time. And thank you for the attitude. God bless you. I want everything. I want you to get everything you deserve, and you deserve a lot, and you'll get there, and you'll do it the hard way. You understand. And thank you for getting the word out to people. I sure do appreciate that.
All I can say is that this election, it's up to all you adults now. I could give you all the knowledge in the world, all the most inspirational speeches. I can give you all the facts about Donald Trump and the unbiased media about what he really said versus what strong women decided today that he said.
Yeah.
But it won't matter unless people who are actually 18, they all vote once and they all vote the right way. And I just have to say, if you decided to vote Biden and on November 4th, he is president, and it is decided that the Electoral College that we chose Biden, when our country is burning to the ground, when we've lost our freedoms, when we realize the mistake that we made, it was never up to me. It was not my fault. And I'm going to sit back and I'm just going to watch you. I'm sorry.
And and the tears will be flowing for all of us, and including the leftist progressives who might now think it's a good idea, but will soon see the light.
You're going to have to take responsibility for your actions. The Constitution specifically outlines one thing that all American citizens should be required to do, and that's vote in elections.
Amen.
And if the election doesn't turn out how you thought, or if your presidential candidate can't for some reason form coherent sentences and he's not actually president, it's actually Kamala, you're going to have to start taking responsibility for your actions.
Absolutely.
You voted for him. You clearly didn't do the research deep enough, and you clearly were ignorant, willingly or just blatantly ignorant. You didn't see what was right before your eyes, and whatever happens after this is going to be up to you.
Savannah Lynn, thank you so much. The Savvy Truth. You want to check her out on you're on what your platforms? You're on Facebook. You're on Twitter. You're on Instagram. What have I missed?
Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Right America Media, rightamericamedia.com on Facebook. I'm honestly trying to be on everything.
Yeah.
Depending on the day, I will be shadow banned or taken off or just completely muted in general.
Yeah, that's absolutely pathetic. But that's the state we're in. Hopefully that'll change. Hopefully Trump will get reelected. Trump 2020, we've got the song coming up here by Camille and Haley. So you want to stick around for that. And I thank you so very much, Savannah. And I hope you'll be our guest many more times in the future.
I would absolutely love that.
Thank you so much. You have a great day. I know you're a busy lady this morning, but thank you for your time, and we'll talk to you post-election.
Of course. Hopefully congratulating each other on our huge win.
I sure hope so. You have a great day, my friend.
You too.
Bye, Savvy. Is she not unbelievable? Unbelievable. I mean, this is somebody we need our kids to listen to. Before we end the show, let's do a little Camille and Haley here. This is little Trump 2020 for you.
Keep America great. Keep America great. Gotta stick to our guns. Keep the freedom we won. Keep America great. There will never be another USA. Freedom won't come back if we give it away. It's time to vote. It's time to pray. Let's join as one. Let me hear you say, vote Trump 2020. Go Trump 2020. Vote Trump 2020. Vote Trump. Keep America first. Keep America strong. We are all in the fight for our God-given rights. Keep America one. 1, 2, 3, 4. There will never be another USA. Freedom won't come back if we give it away. It's time to vote. It's time to pray. If you love your flag, let me see it wave. Vote Trump 2020. Vote Trump 2020. Vote Trump 2020. Vote Trump. 4 more years. Come on, everybody, 4 more years. Come on, everybody, 4 more years. Come on, everybody, 4 more years. There will never be another USA. Freedom won't come back if we give it away. It's time to vote. It's time to pray. Let's join as one. Let me hear you say, vote Trump 2020. Go Trump 2020. Vote Trump 2020, vote Trump. Keep America great. Keep America great.
Nice. Camille and Haley, keep America great. Whoa. I'll be back tomorrow morning at bright and early at 6 o'clock. Hopefully, at 9 o'clock. Mike Violett's here tomorrow morning at 6. I'm not going to take over his show, and we'll both be here tomorrow night for election coverage. It's noontime. I'm John James.
Legacy 1160, WSKW.
Take it to Moody's. Take it to Moody's Collision Center.
If your car is wrecked and you don't know where to go,
take it to Moody's.
You wanna get on with your life, get on with the show.
Take it to Moody's.